What's going on, everyone? Hi. Oh, she said StreamYard is being very MAGA tonight. What? How's everyone doing? It's Taco Tuesday. And so, did you all eat tacos? Did you all eat tacos tonight? Are you eating tacos tonight, rather? Nope. I guess not. Hold on, Flame. Let me see if I can get it to you. What's going on, guys? So we are into number 66 tonight. And so we are going to be talking to the most beautiful man in the world, as some would put it, exotic. Yes, we do it for the people. Are you doing it for the people this weekend? I hope. Hi. Oh my
Hi.
God, it's my co host. He decided to come tonight, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm better. So I'm
Better.
good.
He claims he was sick. And so we'll let him ride with that story. Anyway, talk to us real quick about last week in Texas. We had Miss Gay Yusuf at large last night with a great conversation, but we weren't able to get into the details of the Texas Collective. Hi, Bishop. So tell us how last week was briefly. We know that you can be a little long winded. So give us a brief
That's,
Cliff Note version of
that's
last week.
great coming from you. It was great. It was a wonderful week of pageantry. Mr. Texas US of A at large. The winner was AJ Dupree Davenport or Davenport Dupree. I don't know which order. And the first runner up was Javon Davenport. And the winner of Miss was Diamond Dior Davenport. And her first run up was Rain LaRue. So it was a great week. It was really, really a great week of pageantry, honestly.
So they all qualify for Texas at their prospective division whenever it comes up.
That is correct.
Okay,
That is
gotcha.
correct. Which is February of 2026 for Misters and October for Miss. October 2026 for Miss.
Jeez, they got a whole year.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the
No
first prelim.
excuse to the winner. They got a whole year. There should be no excuse for that. But other
It
than
was
that,
great
well,
though. The energy was amazing. The energy, the competition. Oh, it was phenomenal. It was really good.
I heard it was a nice, very, very nice.
Oh, it
Um,
was
and
great
the team.
turnout. Yeah,
How
it
was Miss
was. And I
Texas? Miss Texas was in the building.
Miss Texas was all over the place. She was in talents. She was doing the. She's welcome to US of A. Because they're
Jesus, I
gonna
saw her
use you
throwing it
around
in a
here.
circle, and somebody said, "I don't do talents, but girl, you doing them now." Look like we have a special guest, real quick, that wants to stop by and say something to us. Let's bring to the stage. Well, she's not there no more, so she needs to send her request.
Well, who was it? I
What is
just
going
saw
on
something
with?
pop up in
We
there.
just saw her pop up, but
The
anyway.
last
So
time,
yeah,
now the
Miss
last time
Texas.
somebody popped up on me, it was come on now. Who is it? Last time I had a
Don't do
box pop
that.
up.
Don't do that. But other than that, we know that so yeah, we got slaughtered on Saturday by Alabama
Oh.
State. 56-13.
But I need
Uh
offline. You got to tell me what's going on with Stink Ads. We gonna find. I know you know.
oh, you know I know. I got that tea. There she go.
Girl,
Flame.
hi, Wendell. Hi,
Hey,
Trinity.
Flame.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear
Yes.
you. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
I know it says that the browser blocked me, girl. I guess I'm only radio voice. My face is only radio ready. It's not.
We got Flame on tonight, y'all, and she has some special announcements just for you guys. Go ahead, Flame. Give it to us.
Listen, I just want to first of all thank everyone who has purchased tickets on Eventbrite for the Green Party on Monday and the battle. I think that we're going to have a great time. It's MBU weekend, which is always the time to be had. And it's just going to be a different type of show. So thank you guys for those who have purchased tickets. Thank you to David Wright, the manager at Lips, who have extended such a great olive branch to give us the club and the opportunity to have this show there. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to all my entertainers. And I got all y'all money. I play no games. I got y'all lopes. That's the second thing. I got a couple of celebrities coming supposedly. And I think it's just going to be a great turnout altogether. And I want to wish all the contestants for Black Universe this weekend, listen, remember to have a good time. It is a contest. There will only be one winner. And if you have done your best, you have done your best. Just remember to leave that place to have a great time, because we going in joyful on Friday. On Monday, we don't want to see everybody's bitter ass endings. You knew what you was putting yourself up against when you threw your hat in the ring. Have a great time, because that's what you will leave with, whether you win, lose, or draw. You might get 10 bookings. You might not win the pageant, but you might win the people.
That's
Come
true.
on.
The people. Flame, are you emceeing your party on Monday night? Monday
If
evening?
I'm feeling like I'm feeling right now, hell no.
Are you gonna leave? Okay, got you.
No, I am hosting, and I got some singers, some gospel singers coming. Nicole is going to co-host with me. I think Silky Nutmeg said she was going to pop up, and that's what I'm looking forward to the surprises of whom will pop up, because I'm open. I'm equal opportunity. If you pop in and I know you talk shit, get to this microphone and get to work.
We love
Wait,
it.
listen, you
Are
better make some money right now with this government shutdown. They didn't cut my snap. I got 6 kids and 4 baby daddies. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
They are definitely connected. Flame, so are you able to disclose the battle songs that they're doing, or is that a surprise?
I think I would like to release those on the Friday before to the day the universe starts, because I would like the people to know the songs that they're actually going to be watching the girls battle and the guys battle too. And I'm excited. I'm excited about the girls because I'm a girls girl, so I like the girls. But I'm telling you something, the boys, the male entertainers have really won me over. And the male battle, the guys we got Alphonse Dupree been a sex symbol in the community since I was 2. And you don't even want to know how long ago that was. And then this new baby, Jeremiah Time Star. I have never met him, but I'm watching him at Bulldogs on the videos. I think he puts a lot into his performance. I think he put a lot into his costumes. That's important. That's very Monty St. James to me. And of course, Kendall is my Nick Ashford. I'm his Valerie Simpson. And Exotic, your guest tonight, what can I say? Listen, Exotic could take my clothes off and put them back on. And when I take his off, he ain't never putting them back on. I'm just letting you know in the game. I might be his auntie, but I promise you I will do uncle shit with you, Exotic. Yeah, so I think we're going to have a great time. And I'm looking forward to everybody that's coming out and to have a good time. This is going to be a good time. I'm going to talk plenty shit. And I think the entertainers who are someone who I've never met some of these people. I don't know Kamaya L'Oreal, but I think mixing the old and mixing the new, this is how we're going to bridge the gap between the young generation of performers and the older generation. Let us work together. Let us talk to each other. Let us learn from each other. Since nobody knows everything, but I think it's going to be just a good time. And we want to do the next one in Houston in February. So, Wendell, I will be reaching out to you because we want to do a Nita Baker battle in Houston, and I want to do a F to M battle.
What color you gonna choose for Houston, Flame?
I'm gonna let you guys work on that with me, Trini, because I'm looking forward to seeing you perform on Monday too. I know them titties gonna be everywhere, but I'm looking forward to it.
You told me to cover them up, so that's what I did.
Oh no, that was when we was done in public. When you on stage, what the hell you get them for? You better dazzle them, because I'm gonna tell you one day when you get my age, they're gonna race to your navel. I promise.
Well, yes, guys. So make sure that you are getting your tickets if you haven't already. But they can purchase at the door, correct?
You can purchase at the door, but the place seats only 240 people. We have honestly, I think we sold about 158 or 59 tickets. I haven't even looked in 2 days, but I just want people to be able to get in and enjoy themselves. They will be serving food. They will have alcohol, and I'm telling you, Lips Atlanta has really rolled out the red carpet to really extend to these girls. And a lot of these girls said they have always wanted to perform there. It's kind of like a pre-audition for them. I had no idea that. You just never know what somebody wants to do. So to all of my entertainers on the show, thank you guys for saying yes. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, make sure you see Flame this weekend. The rumor is that Flame is competing next year. And so
for what? What I'm competing for?
Miss Black Universe.
Girl, if that means that I have to comb my hair, nope.
You can wear ponytails.
Girl, you know where my ponytail go in my hair is a hole right there.
Oh my God! You know what? Okay. So when y'all see Flame this weekend, make sure you hug her and make sure that you come out on
Yeah,
Monday to the
yeah.
green party. It's not required, however, we have
No.
the theme. So
But
thank you,
I mean,
Flame, for
because
stopping.
I like color. You know, if you wear a green scarf, if you wear a green eyelash, whatever you want, just anything, a green sock, just because we like green. I don't know. It was a reason. All we
Yeah.
needed was a reason. And
Okay.
Diabolique West, D West, I know I didn't have one of your Westland on in there green, but I forgot I did have my girl on at the black party, and she was fantastic.
Mhm.
Miss
Support.
yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, she was an amazing performer.
Yes.
And to all the people who want to be on the show, when I get some sponsors for the next one, wink, wink, then I'll be able to include more people possibly or make the lopes bigger. But hear me when I tell you, when you walk in the door and check in, I pay you. I always think you're a better entertainer if you got your money in advance.
Oh, Flame is a good one.
As
Well,
we
thank you for
know.
stopping by, Flame, and
Thank
we
you
will
guys.
see
I'm
you.
Bye,
looking forward to hearing my
Flame.
boo. Hold on, Wendell. First of all, Trinity, I heard you trying to flirt with Wendell on the low. Miss Trinity, I will run up on your big ass. You need to know that. Uh, Exotic belongs to me.
Okay. Noted. Let me check that off.
Wendell, we got to talk. I'm coming to Houston in February.
Okay.
You know he
Okay.
gonna take care of you. You know he
All
gonna
right.
take
You
care of
guys have a great show. I'll be tuned in. Thank you, everyone.
you. All
I
right.
appreciate you. See you this
Bye,
weekend.
All
Flame.
right.
Let's
See
have
you
a
this
great
weekend.
Black Universe. A
All
great
right.
Black Universe.
All right. Bye bye. So there you have it, guys. Make sure that you are getting your tickets if you have not already, and if you have not, you can pay at the door. But just in case. So she said she sold about 160, so 240 can
Is
fit.
Sweetheart in February?
Sweetheart is in April. Why?
So nothing's in February then, right?
No, you have Vogue in February.
I just want to make sure that we don't, if she does it in Houston, I don't want it to clash, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, Vogue is in February. I think that's probably the only thing that's in February. Where's your son?
He's not on there?
No,
He's not in waiting?
nope. While we wait,
Remember.
I'm trying to see how I want to do this. But anyway, yeah. So make sure that you all are buying your tickets to come to the Green Party and party with Flame. Again, she has a great lineup. Girls, Kamaya, Amaya, and Deasia will be the battles, and of course you heard the guys, and then the entertainment will be Rico, myself, Nicole, Dore, and Cyria Sinclair. So are y'all ready for Universe? Like, this is going to be an interesting weekend. Who's coming to walk? Who's coming to do what? Like, what's up? Who all are y'all expecting to walk away victorious? Any bets? Let us know. I have my picks for every category. I have my favorites, but I have my realistic, logical picks. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a great weekend. The People's National Grand Madam won't be there, but I will see you all on Monday if you are still in the city and if you are at Lips. Other than that, while we wait on Exotic, I think he might have been on the wrong time zone. Um, yeah. So did y'all enjoy Lindsay last night?
He's coming in now.
Such a pleasant individual with Lindsay last night. Um, I can't see you, King.
I'm on the phone with him, but he's coming in. 1 second.
Okay. Um, Such a pleasant interview with her last night, and so we definitely okay, got it. We definitely thank her for coming on, the reigning Miss Gay US of A at large. Flames to end the winners. So are we addressing this? Or are we just moving on?
Addressing what? Oh, it's not worth it. It's not worthy.
Okay. All right. So yeah.
Every battle isn't meant to be fought.
I just, I have an issue with lies. I'm okay with being your villain, but don't lie. Don't lie. It's
Well,
just
Colexis definitely corrected it, and so I
thank you.
think that
Thank you
was
for Lexus
correct.
for your integrity of correcting this craziness of me hating on another show and didn't want you to go over there. But yeah, anyway, moving forward. So tonight we have, I think he is one of the most beautiful men in the world. my cisgender best friends feel like he is the most beautiful man in the world. And he is celebrating his 1 year as Mr. Black Universal. I strategically want him to come on so he can speak on this particular week because he's headed back as a ruler. Now, he is newer into the pageantry world. And so I know a lot of you may be like, well, I thought it was like, listen, we do what we do because we have audiences all over. And he is definitely an icon in his own right when it comes to definitely ballroom. And so I wanted to just get a little bit about him and hear about him, the mystery behind the man, if you want to say. So it is after 7. We're going to go ahead and bring on. Baby, he is done over there. Give it up for Mr. Exotic. Hi, Exotic.
Hi, Trinity. How's it going, sweetheart?
How are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. Just been
Okay.
getting all my preparations ready for this weekend. You know, I'm excited
Yes.
about it.
Preparation. So listen, first of all, thank you for giving us this hour or so of your time. We know that you are a busy man with everything that you have going on in your life. And so I wanted to intentionally bring you on this week because it is your first year back as Mr. Black Universe. So I want to kind of dig in your head about your life and then, of course, about that entity and things in the future. So I appreciate you for accepting. Okay. And if your father doesn't have anything, I'll go ahead. Do you have anything, King?
We just talked. Let's go.
Okay. So first of all, Exotic, let me ask you this.
Okay.
How does it feel to be called one of the most beautiful men in the world?
Well, you know, I don't really know. I mean, it feels good, of course. You know, I think that coming from where I am, I mean, where I'm from, Texas, you know, I mean, we're all just, everyone's pretty naturally sweet people. So everyone probably calls each other that all the time. But hearing it in a way where, you know, it is more of an adoration and people, you know, take a liking to, you know, my appearance and stuff like that. You know, it's nice. You know, I try not to let stuff like that get to my head. You know, I'm in ballroom and all these other things I walk face, you know, known for beauty and stuff like that. But I try my hardest to maintain at my core who I am, is Andre, you know what I'm saying? And the morals and integrity and things that I was taught then. So it feels good, but I definitely don't let it change me.
Well, and that's all great, but you do accept the fact that you are one of the most beautiful men in the world.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Okay. Long as you. So I had posted you. I think it was right around your universe reign on my I think it was your birthday or something. I posted you on my Instagram, and my girlfriend saw you and was like, "Oh my God!" And so they started sharing your picture. So in the group chat, you come up. Who is this? Who is this? I was like, "Oh, he's Mr. Black Universe." He's the most prettiest man in the world. I was like, "Yeah." Okay. So yeah,
but tell them I said thank you. I appreciate that.
I think they're watching. I told them I was going to have you on. So listen, take us back to life for you as a child out in Texas. Talk to us about your upbringing and what you were involved in. The typical icebreaker for us, just to get to know the man before the entity that came before us today.
Okay. I'm originally born and raised in Galveston Island, Texas. And if you know about Galveston, it's a very small island south of Houston. Everyone knows everybody. You know, my family knows everybody else's family. You know, the Hiltons, you know, which is my family last name. I had a very strict upbringing. My parents were very direct. You know, there was no sugarcoating anything, which is probably why I gravitate towards some of the people I gravitate towards now. Kind of that no nonsense. You know, they had a high expectation for integrity, for education. My grandfather is very strict about education. You know, we couldn't speak certain ways around him, you know, like say like slang or, you know, anything of that nature. If it wasn't in the dictionary, you better not say it, not in front of him. And so, yeah, like I love to have fun. I love to go to the beach. You know, that was our big thing back in Galveston. You know, it's pretty much one of the main things we had. And just bonding with my family. I'm very family oriented. I grew up in the church. My grandmother was a minister of music. And my parents are all educators. My dad, who is a football coach, basketball coach, baseball coach, and math teacher. And my mom was a kindergarten and special education teacher. My grandmother was a principal. So that's pretty much my upbringing. I'm my mom's only son. So I don't know if you remember my Q&A from years ago at Black Universe, my first year. She had a very hard time with me coming out as gay because I was her, I am her only son. But I have one older brother by my father, and I have three sisters. And so it was pretty cool upbringing. I can't say that I had any issues. Again, it was just very strict upbringing with school and education and things of that nature. The expectation was, and the bar was always set high to be the best that you could possibly be. And my mom's reasoning for that, she would always say, is because you're a Black man in America. And it's going to be, you have to be twice as good as your counterparts in order to get the recognition that you deserve. And she raised me to that, all the whole entire way through my educational career.
Were you involved in anything like sports-wise with your dad being so athletic and coaching, or was that out of the list for you?
Oh yeah, no, I was definitely an athlete. I ran track. I was number 1 in the state in high school for 2 years. And then I finally went to state my senior year on a hamstring injury. Ended up getting 2nd place. But it is what it is. You know, I love track. I love football. I played football all through middle school and high school. I actually quit football in high school and got into the band because my family is musically talented as well. And I kind of fell out of love with football and wanted to get more into the music department. Because my grandmother was minister of music. She played the piano and taught me how to, start off playing. And so I got into that. Ended up becoming the drum major in the band in high school. We had a show band, like Texas Southern and Prairie View, and Southern University. So I got that experience before even going to the illustrious Prairie View A&M University. Shout out to Trinity. I know she loves her AMU.
Yes, we'll get to that.
Yes. But sports was definitely a thing. And where I'm from, you had to play some sort of sport. It wasn't a question. Nobody asked, hey, what do you want to do? No, you're going to get out there. You're going to play football. You're going to play basketball. You're going to do something. You're going to get out of this house. That's how it was.
Okay. Well, that definitely makes sense. You mentioned in your question and answer, you just brought up again about your sexuality. Now, was this something that you had to hide growing up, or were you open and you just dealt with the consequences from your mom?
You know what? I had a cousin who was very flamboyant. And it was my first cousin. We were the same age, and both my mom and her sister were both pregnant at the same time. But he was extremely flamboyant and was very aware of who he was at a very young age. And I watched the way he was treated, by my uncles and his peers and things of that nature. And I knew deep down inside that we knew deep down inside that we shared the same secret. I mean, even from 4 years old, these conversations existed. And I had to sit back and watch him, be treated a certain particular type of way. However, I was, of course, more of the masculine. When I played sports, I did all the things I was supposed to do as a man. And he, again, loved, dressing up and, breaking at the wrist. That was who he was, and right. I loved him I loved him as he was. But I think growing up in that light, I was more of like a brother to him because he had no siblings. He was the only child. And I think it caused us to kind of grow apart because he got to see that I wasn't treated the way he was treated. And we both knew that we were both gay. And he was demonized. And then they looked at me like, he's going to have the girlfriends and he's going to have this, he's going to have that. And it divided us, and unknowingly it really did. And even to this day, our relationship is still strained from that, and I hate that happened. But, I try my best to have conversations where I can to try to, find common ground. He actually moved to Atlanta with me a few years ago, try to help him get on his feet, but that didn't work because a lot of those traumas from back then started to seep back in, and it caused, rifts in our relationship to, start all over again. And so that was a, situation with that. Whew, funny, I didn't imagine to talk about that.
So when did you actually just say, you know what? I have to be who I am and live my life. At what point at your time in your life or age did you just tell your mom, listen, I got to live for me?
I didn't just tell her. She found out.
Okay.
My mom is she's an old school mom. She's snooping. She feel like something ain't right. Ain't no closing no doors. There's no locking the doors. She's going through drawers whenever you ain't looking. And what are you gonna say to her? Right. You're living into her house. And I just had I had met a guy on a band trip in San Antonio, and we started communicating through mail. So he would write letters and stuff like that because we didn't have cell phones. My mom said, cell phone for what? This is 2003, 2002. I didn't even have a car. You know what I'm saying? So, right. you know, and then she started picking up on little things, like my behavior started changing. I started kind of having these mood swings, and because I felt like, you know, hiding something, things eventually build up in you that cause you to act differently. And you start having these doubts, you know, you're starting to act in sexual ways at a young age. And so it starts to alter your mindset. It starts to alter your mood. And you have this other side of you that, you know, goes to church all the time and hear all these horrible things about being gay. And so it's a heavy conflict mentally. And trying to stay sane at that age, at 16 and 17, you know, trying to figure out my identity, you know, and still hiding myself from not just my parents, but also, you know, my peers at school, you know, seeing how they treated gay people, and, you know, just keeping myself bottled up. I actually became quite a big loner. So I really didn't have a lot of friends in school. I completely was like socially awkward, for a better term. And kept myself out of circles and away from people because out of a fear of them finding something out and just not trusting them. And knowing that I was hiding myself, you know, and I probably would, now I look back on it, I probably would have made a lot of friends, because now I'm friends with all of my classmates.
Right.
And they always wondered why I was so awkward back then. They just could never put their finger on it. But I explained to them why, you know, why I didn't really talk much or didn't say much, because I felt like I was hiding a secret. But my mom found out. She went through my mail one time that something came to the house, and it was, you know, a boy sent a picture, and she picked me up from band practice. I'll never forget. And she sat me in the car with her. And when we got to the house, she locked the doors and she didn't get out. And she stopped the car. She turned. She said, "I want to ask you something." And I said, "Okay, what is it?" She said, "I got a piece of mail that came to the house." And when she said that, I immediately knew that she had found out. And it was a boy. He had a high-pitched voice. He was an extremely feminine boy. I liked feminine boys back then. And his name was James. I'll never forget that. And he had this really high-pitched voice. And he sounded like a girl. And so when he would call, my mom didn't even question that it was a guy, because he didn't sound like a guy at all. But she basically made me confess to her, you know, of what was happening. And I told her, you know, and she was disgusted. She was over it. And she put me out. You know, she couldn't deal with it. I think it was just too much for her at that moment. And I think a lesson in that, recently we had a conversation, you know, because she accepts me now. Everybody knows my mom she was at my Give Up. She was at Mr. Continental this year. Like, she has been one of my biggest cheerleaders. And people are asking me, so, you know, how did that relationship, you know, turn in, you know, direction for the better? And I said, well, honestly, I think when we are trying to come out, there's a level of expectation we kind of want to have for our parents, that, you know, we want that and hope, we want them to accept us and want them to be happy for us. But we also have to come from a state, we have to be considerate of the fact that we don't know what it's like to be parents and to have kids, and fear for what's to come ahead in their life based on the decisions that they make or because of who they are. My mom had gay friends, and she explained this to me. She said, "Andrea, I had gay friends, and I watched them get beat. I watched them get hurt. I've watched them get killed. I've watched them die from, you know, AIDS and HIV." And she was like, "When you told me that, that's all I saw."
Yeah.
And I had developed a hatred for it, not because of my disliking for it, but because of my fear and what I saw and how growing up. You know, she said, "Mama been around a long time."
Right.
You know, that's nothing I haven't seen, even though you may not know that. You don't know my walk. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow. And it was at one time that we actually got a chance to put our emotions and feelings aside, and I just listened and understood from her point of view as a parent that she didn't hate me. She hated what she feared I was going to go through.
Yeah. Understandable.
And so yeah.
So now y'all are just great.
Oh yeah, we're great. We're great.
Gotcha. King, you got anything?
No, let's keep going.
Because you know everything. Okay.
You know everything.
So now you have graduated high school and went over there. So
now over there.
Not over there. I was
Over
going to let you go.
So tell us how that came about.
Brace myself.
How did you choose the Prairie View A&M?
Well, I got a track scholarship.
Oh, yeah.
I had a couple of options for scholarships. One was to University of Houston, in which they only wanted to offer 70% of a scholarship. And mind you, I was the #1 hurdler in the state at the time. And they came and said, you know, took me on a campus visit. You know, did a walkthrough and sat down and said, oh, you know, we want to offer 70% and see where we go from there. And then I was like, okay. Like, I wasn't expecting that, you know, and my family, we couldn't afford, but, you know, my parents couldn't afford to send me, you know, to pay anything for college at that time. I was living with my dad at the time. And he was a single parent. There was no way he could pay for college out of pocket for me.
Right.
And at the time, me and my mom were not speaking. So there was some decisions that needed to be made. And then I went to, after the state track meet, with the Coach Gillett from Prairie View, which is the track coach there, came up to me, you know, handed me a letter, you know, a letter of interest, and said, you know, Mr. Hilton, you ran a really good race. I'd like to come and talk to you about, you know, coming to Prairie View. And my aunt went to Prairie View. My grandfather went to Texas Southern. And my brother went to Texas Southern. So I'm no stranger to HBCUs. And I went to a predominantly all Black high school, you know, growing up around predominantly all Black people. Mm-hmm. And so I said, you know, okay, I'll consider that. You know, I'll look into it. My grandmother, she was against it at first, only because of her experience with my aunt going to Prairie View was not such a good one.
Right.
But she said, hey, you know, if in fact that he wants you to come there, he needs to come meet me on my doorstep. And that was her requirement. She said, he's to come meet me on my doorstep and I need to talk to him. So they drove from Prairie View to Galveston and knocked on my grandmother's door. I opened the door. We sat on the porch. She served them lemonade and boudin with crackers.
Oh, yes.
and they ate. And basically he told her, he said, you know, we'll make sure that everything is taken care of, that he's on a full ride and he wants for nothing. And she looked at him and she said, I've been told this before, but I want to make sure that this is the real deal. And he said, ma'am, he said, you have my word. And he shook her hand. He was just as old as my grandparents. He's an older guy. So he reminded me a lot of my grandfather, a lot of integrity. And she said, okay. And she said, you know, you make your whatever decision you want to make. You have my full support. I went to the campus tour. I loved it. You know, I felt right at home. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and then, you know, all I heard was someone that saw me for my worth and saw me for my potential, for what they felt I had to offer. And when someone was able to put a full ride behind me, I took it immediately.
Yeah.
You know, it was far enough for me to live my life, but still close enough for me not to be too far from my family. Yeah. And still gave me the experience culture-wise that I wanted out of my college career.
Right.
And so I got a scholarship offer from UTSA. It was still about 75%, but I went to visit the campus and it was a no right off the bat. Okay. But I signed with Prairie View and the rest is history. I had a wonderful time.
So your experience there is, did you begin to open up more? Remember in high school, you kind of was, you know, secluded. Did Prairie View or the HBCU culture open you up more?
It did. It really did a lot. You're so funny when it comes to the HBCU culture and tying it in with the gay culture. Many people don't know this, but when Dale remembers this, is I had a whole J-Set squad back in the day. And we used to wear it. We were called the Southern Stars, but we used to wear it out so bad. A lot of people don't know that. But I haven't danced in so long. I probably would pass out. But no. Eventually it was something I ended up growing out of. But yeah, I know he's tickling you over there because you have not heard that name in a while. But it was a great experience. I competed for Mr. Prairie View, which is where my first experience in a pageant. And I thought, were you there one day?
Of course.
Yeah, you do. You were.
We had bought the ad in the we bought the family bought an ad in the magazine in the booklet.
Yes, and so that's where I got my first bit of pageant PTSD because I flopped the question. Oh. I had gave an amazing performance and everything. I mean, I got a standing ovation for our mimes our mime in church as well.
It was literally question and answer.
Oh yes, it was Q&A. Took me right on out of there. And but one talent, a lot of other categories with Q&A took me right on out. But that still was a great experience. I was in the Royal Court because I got second runner up. And so it was still a great experience going to all the football games. You know all about that, Trinity.
Yes. Absolutely.
But
why did you ever consider, I'm gonna ask you, getting some letters on your back?
Oh gosh, yes.
Talk to me about that, because I'm a place already.
Yeah. So when I was in college, I did try out for Kappa Alpha Psi.
Okay.
I didn't make it. I had all the requirements. I had the GPA. I had all the letters. I did everything I needed to do to cross my T's and dot my I's. And they didn't let me in because there was a rumor that I was gay. And I wasn't completely out at that point. I know, right? Right. The hypocrisy of it all. But I wasn't out at that point. I was still, doing my stuff. I was living more freely, but I just wasn't telling people what what happens in my bedroom. I feel like it was anybody's business.
Right.
And so, I even had a girl who was my best friend today now. Her name is Jasmine Terry. But she played my girlfriend just so, that rumor would die. Mm-hmm. And the rumor died. I think at that point, what it really came down to was that they wanted to, they wanted to wash me. Is kind of the process. I mean, like break you down to build you up to say
to be as bare as you could.
Huh?
Be as bare as they could get you.
Yes.
The bare minimum.
Phones again, it kind of went out. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, kind of wash you off to build you up. And back then, I was dating. I was dating a very popular person at the time who was doing some not so legal things. You know what was going on back in the day.
Yeah,
they was check right and left and right, and I was dating one of the biggest ones of them all. Who and at the end of the day, like I was going to school laced and dressed in the best. Like people was looking at me like, where the hell is he getting this stuff? Mm-hmm. Right with her. It was crazy. I mean, like RA shades. I mean, labeled down. So I've been on to that stuff forever.
He was doing the most.
Yes, doing the most, absolute most, and knew it. You know what I'm saying? And then they were like, yo, like we need you to chill out on all that. We need you to come in with basic t-shirt, shorts. I was like, what? Basic what? They're like, yeah, you just like you give a little too much on campus. And they told me that. I was like, oh, okay, well, you want me to be a nobody. And then so y'all can okay, I get it. You want me to be a nobody so that you can say that you turned me into somebody. But I'm already me. So at the end of the day, I'm not the person. I may not just not be in my head. After the way I looked at it was, I just wasn't the person for that type of process, for that organization in particular, because I was already me. I was already well known on campus. I was already very self-aware.
Right.
And established on campus. I had my grades. I was in campus activities. I was on one of the stars of the track team. It wasn't like I was walking around just not knowing who I was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I knew from a very early age. I was always a very confident person. And so, it didn't work out for me. And I'm actually kind of glad it didn't.
Okay. Yeah. Are you glad it didn't work out in that time or just overall? Would it be something you would consider in the future?
No.
Okay.
I think I'm done with that chapter. I'm glad it didn't work out at all, only because honestly, when I look back at it now, I look at it as though like, what was my purpose of wanting it? And my purpose of wanting it was really for the betterment of the community, the betterment of the organization. I felt like I had something to bring to the table that I could offer, which was, my artistic skill set, my ability to be able to be a visionary and create, events and create, nonprofits and all these different things. And they didn't want to hear any of that. And I was just like, okay, well, you want it you want to make it seem like you have something to give me. And I'm okay with that as long as it's something that's attainable, not necessarily just you wanting to make it seem like you made me who I am. Because I'm already self-made. And so that's kind of tarnished my look at it. And I've heard plenty of other people's stories that are very similar and the same. And it is what it is. I don't look down on those organizations. I feel like they are for people. They do attract certain types of people, and I'm just not one of those people. And that's perfectly fine.
Okay. So we'll take a pause right quick, and we're going to get to know Andre on a personal level with some questions, about your favorites and dislikes. So what is something that you love to eat and can eat all day if you had to?
Oh, banana pudding. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Do bananas go in banana pudding? Don't read, but do they go in banana pudding?
Absolutely.
Because people say they don't. You're supposed to put the custard.
Baby.
It won't be banana pudding.
It won't be banana pudding. It would just be pudding.
It's pudding.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you like yours cold or warm?
Both.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm a lover of warm and cold. It doesn't matter to me, but I do prefer vanilla wafers over anything else.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the cookies that they put, other cookies they put in them. I forgot what what are they
Those
called?
big, those square ones.
Them big square ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like
those.
them.
Yeah. Give me the
Too
vanilla
big,
wafer.
but too
The
thick.
old fashioned ones. Yeah, I
That's
like
how,
the vanilla wafer. The vanilla wafers they get soft and that
Yeah.
you
Okay.
get what I'm saying.
Yes.
I actually had some today.
Okay. You know you got stuff to wear this weekend.
Maybe listen, I ain't competing for nobody's pageant no time
Right.
soon.
Okay.
Somebody
what is
said
your-
they already ready to see the former shapes, but they finna get this new shape because the show is not what it was 6 weeks ago.
Ooh, did they say that? What's your favorite color?
Green.
Green. Any particular reason?
Green and serene. It's just a color that just makes me smile. A color that makes me happy. It's always looked good on me. I think that was one of the reasons why I wore green at Continental, because I wanted to make sure that my package was a reflection of who I was. And but yeah, I just always loved the color.
Your favorite season of all of the 4?
Ooh, fall.
Okay.
Right now, yeah. I don't like being hot.
Mhm.
And fall always just makes me feel very cozy. I love to dress. I love to put on clothes and jackets and coats and boots, and that's just always been my thing. So, and I like to feel like, I love seasons.
Okay.
So,
Aside from your birthday, your favorite holiday to celebrate?
my favorite holiday to celebrate?
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. So you can cook and eat.
Yeah. I was gonna say Christmas, but I as a child Christmas, but now as an adult, yeah, Thanksgiving, because I don't like spending a whole lot of money.
Right. If you could choose any celebrity to be best friends with, who would he or she be?
Whitney Houston.
Oh wow.
Yes, I adore Whitney Houston. I'm probably one of the biggest. I think I'm the biggest Whitney fan,
Okay.
but I adore Whitney Houston. I love everything about her personality, the fact that she was a real person, and that contrary to her being a celebrity, she made sure that you were aware that she was still human and still real. I think a lot of us tend to forget that. She had her struggles, but she also had many triumphs, and even still to this day, like there's a legacy that can't be undone. A lot of times people die and then you just forget about them. She's one of those people that the world refuses to forget, and that is why she's probably one of the most amazing people in the world to me. So,
if they were to discontinue cereal, but you could save one, which would you choose?
cereal, Raisin Bran.
But you got to eat it before it gets soft.
Before I get what?
The milk makes it soppy and mushy.
That doesn't bother me as long as I have bananas cut up in it.
Okay.
Oh.
You're definitely a health. Okay, got you. Oh, definitely that. You're very fashionable. So which decade do you feel had the best fashions?
Honestly, I would say this decade now. And I look back at the clothes and stuff that we wore. Oh, you mean decade as far as like that I've lived through?
No, you can say
Oh.
this decade. Absolutely.
I would probably say I kind of want to say the 90s.
Okay.
I enjoyed the 90s. I really would say that I really enjoyed the 90s.
Okay.
I think that's when
What-
everyone was playing with a lot of different things, like in terms of like for girls, like square boots and square toe shoes for guys. Like we were really into those things back then.
Yes.
So yeah,
Remember
we
the
had fun in the
sculptures
90s.
we used to do?
Yes, all of it. The French roll. I used to love. My mom used to get this French roll and used to have like this.
Yes.
French roll with
I
the bang and the
missed that
hair.
era.
Yeah.
I missed that era. But
Oh,
yes.
absolutely. So yeah. Fashion in the 90s really started to change the game a lot. So
Okay, got you. So 3 things you can work on about yourself.
3 things I can work on about myself. Right now I'm working through my ADHD.
Okay.
Which is something that I stumbled upon recently. I didn't know I really had it back then, and like I guess something I've had for a while, but until it started affecting my everyday life. It's at different age periods, it would show up and it can be very chronic. And so it started showing up. I started becoming very unorganized out of the blue and couldn't keep hold of tasks. And, I'm an entrepreneur, so that shook me. A lot of people say that, they started to get these effects after they got COVID. And so it may have, having COVID one time probably have woken something up in me, but it has been a battle and something that I've taken control over. And so, I do take my ADHD medication. I have a therapist, things of that nature to stay on top of things so that I don't lose sight and that I don't lose control, because it does when you do pull back and you're not attentive to it, it will take over your life. It's a real thing. So one of those things. What else? Something else that I could work on. Trying to remember people's names. I'm sorry. I'm notorious for this. I tell you, I meet a lot of people, and so a lot of times I already can't hear worth of nothing, because I'm hearing impaired. But even when I do hear people's names, part of that ADHD thing was where I hear something and something would take my attention away, and I would completely forget. Even if it's like 5 seconds after, I would have to ask someone again their name one more time. So a lot of people that meet me, if I ask you your name again, it's not that I'm not paying attention. It's just that my attention span sometimes can be very short, and I'm asking just for clarity. So that's probably it.
Gotcha. Okay. One more, if you can think of another one. Everybody thinks you're perfect.
No, not at all. I would
Just the ability to say no.
No, that is true. The ability to say no, I do take on a lot at times. I feel like I've started to learn that. I think I started to learn that as when I was Mr. Black Universe. And the ability to just say no, because that was at a time where everyone felt like they needed something from me or wanted something from me, and trying to balance work and branding as Mr. Black Universe and being in a relationship and still trying to maintain, a relationship with my family, and still trying to build my business. You have to prioritize, and you have to get comfortable with saying no. It doesn't mean that you're being mean. It really just means that you don't want to overcommit and underproduce.
Yeah.
And so I've been really tough on myself about that, because, coming up as an entrepreneur, a lot of times we get excited about stuff and we'll say yes to everything. And then when things fall through and you realize you've bitten off too much, it can ruin your reputation, because it will make you look as though you are not dependable. When you can't come through on certain things that you have, put out there. So be very careful with that. So I learned to start saying no a lot, especially during my reign.
When you're packing your bag, suitcase, what's the first thing you put in it?
When I'm packing my bag in suitcase, the first thing I put in there are shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your favorite fashion house?
My favorite fashion house, Mugler.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely.
What is your passion? What is your passion in life?
What am I passionate in life?
What is your passion in life?
What is my passion in life? My passion in life is to continue to grow and continue to help others grow. To be a reflection, so that others see some sort of themselves in me. Because I had that same thing growing up, from tutors, people who, took me by the reins when I was very young and helped guide me. One of them being Wendell on the phone also, that was with me in some of the toughest times of my life, and showed me that life was more than just, being gay and just partying and, as we would say, punking back in the day.
Right.
That life was so much more than that. There, get an education, that you can live an advantaged life, that, you can be educated, be gay, have a family, have anything you put your mind to. And I want to be sure that I'm that reflection for somebody else.
So you have this career that I feel is so intriguing, because I see you traveling, I see you doing things. I don't even look at it as a career for you, because I think it's something that you enjoy doing, and it seems so fun from the outside looking in. Talk to us about how you even got started in what you do, what it is you do. Briefly tell us about that part of your life.
Yes. So I'm an interior designer and lifestyle consultant. And I pretty much got started. My background is in architecture. I got my degree in architecture from Prairie View, and I thought I was going to be an architect. My grandfather was a builder. Again, my mom, she's an educator, but she also did some design on the back end. And my mom's mom decorated as well. And my uncle was a landscaper. So growing up, I was always on my grandfather's job sites, walking around and, trying to make sense of the floor plans when they were just studs, figuring out what the rooms were and understanding the layout of the home. And again, we always had a really nicely decorated home. So I would kind of pay very close attention to details. And I'm an artist myself. I draw, I paint. And so all of those together, incorporated with my sense of style and fashion, I love fashion as well, put together, I created this unique gift that I didn't know I really had until I got in a relationship and back in the day, and helped decorate my boyfriend's apartment. And I just went to Target and thought I was just, picking out a few things based off some things I remember my mom teaching me or doing. And we had the nicest apartment. People were coming in and it was just like, oh my God, wow, this is so nice. I remember when Dale came in, it was like, you did this. I was like, yes. And still fostered that, kept it in the back of my head, and then graduated from college, moved to Atlanta. And I was working in property management and education. So I was a teacher by day, and then I was like part-time property management for a lady that was actually my partner's mom that owned some residential properties. So on the weekends, I would take care of her properties. And she came to our house and she was like, oh my God, like, this is so nice. Like you have a real gift. And she said, I don't think that your gift is in property management. I think that you have something else that is far, more going to incorporate your gifts and your talents. I think that you have something that's really going to take you far. If you ever looked into, being an interior designer, and I was like, what? I had never heard of that. I've heard of it. You're going to school of architecture, but you don't think that it has anything to do with like decorating. I never paid enough attention to it. All I know was going to class. So I looked and I did some research, and I talked to a friend of mine, Miss Lawrence, who is my auntie, Lawrence Washington. Shout out to Auntie. And I said, Auntie, what do you think about me being an interior designer? And she's like, yeah, well, I got the perfect person to introduce you to. And so he introduced me to Michelle Boyd here in Atlanta. And when I met Michelle, it was like seeing a reflection of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just a little older than I was, but we connected instantly. I was like, wow, like he smells great. He looks great. He's so fashionably
very handsome.
Won to get, everything about him was like, gosh, I see so much of myself in this person. And so he put me on. I did my first internship with him. I fell in love. When I looked at his website the first time, I was like, instantly, this is what I knew that I was called to do. And I haven't been back since. After my 6 months ended for my internship, I jumped headfirst into starting my business. I had $435 to my name. And by the time I got done getting my business license, et cetera, I had $13 to my name. And then literally in a 24-hour period.
Wow.
And got my first project as soon as I pulled up to my house. I remember saying, Lord, like, I got a business. I'm so excited. I got a business. I was like, I don't have no business though. I don't got no project. I need a project now. Oh my gosh, my heart started beating fast. I pulled up to my apartment and I was like, Lord, please just send me my first client. And then this guy knocked on my door while I was still sitting in the car, and I let the window down. He said, are you in? The guy that lives in, unit 610, which they were using my unit as a show space, as like a model apartment.
Right.
Because they loved the way that I decorated it. I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm the new officer that just moved in, and I had, they gave me a free apartment, so I have extra money, and I really loved your unit when I did the tour. Do you mind decorating my space? And I was like, oh wow, I got my friend. Like, Lord, you work fast.
Yes.
And it's been up from there. Like the project started coming in, and it's been a journey. 13 years later, here I am.
Do you find yourself going into people's homes and moving stuff around, telling them no, do you find yourself doing that?
No, I don't do that. But I realize that's big part of the reason why a lot of people don't invite me nowhere. And so people are like, I'm dead serious. People do not invite me to their homes because they have their fear that I'm going to judge them, or that I'm going to walk around and look at, you come in, just don't. I'm like, stop.
Okay.
Like I try my hardest not to be at work when I don't have to be. just like
Okay.
everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah, but you have an eye, and
I
you
do.
are low down because he'll see something and you'll think you ate it. You'll think
That's
you
not
ate
true.
it, and he'll look at it and be like, "Why you put that there?
Yeah.
You
You
know
should
what?
put that there."
You know what? I only told him that because he asked me for a consultation.
Okay,
I was
see,
at work.
tell-
I was
tell
at
the
work.
truth.
I asked about one picture. I asked about one picture.
He said, "Son, I want you to come look at my house. I want you to come look at my space and let me know what I can do with it to refresh it." And I said, "Okay." You know, I was in Houston, so I went by. And you asked me to work, I'm gonna work. You know
Maybe he
what I'm
left out with a $15,000 project.
What I want you to drop the names. Who are some of the celebrities that you have done work for? Pop your shit.
Egypt Sherrod, Damaris Bilbo, Shada Chavez, Chief, sorry. Oh gosh. Some names I'd rather not name. So
Okay,
I'm just not gonna say those.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they weren't the best experiences.
Oh wow.
Somebody else I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Okay, got you. So, what is one interior design thing that we should not do in our homes? That's just off the jump. You think don't ever do that.
Put those sofas all the way up against the back wall, far away from the television. Yeah. That.
Your daddy.
I hate that.
And listen, if you have, especially in a large room, like I have people, I walk into their homes and they have a very large living room, and then there'll be like this back wall, and then there'll be maybe 15 feet across would be a fireplace and a television. They would put the sofa all the way on the back wall. I feel like they have to get this 80-inch television. Yes. This 80-inch television, and then you have the coffee table right there in front of the sofa, and then all this space between the coffee table and the television. And I'm like, you can literally see the television from there. No, float that piece of furniture in the middle of the room. It makes the space feel larger and makes it feel like you can create different conversational areas in this space. You want to be able to operate around the furniture and not just not operate in the room. You want to operate around the furniture.
Y'all just got a free consultation in 5 seconds. Your home is not having. But so let me ask you this. My grandma used to always say, and you tell us in your aesthetic is true, never put a sofa blocking the door. So if the door opens, you should never have the back of the sofa to the door. Is that true?
Well, I don't like anybody coming in behind me, so I would agree with that. I don't like my back being to an entrance at all.
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you. All right. So that's that. So if you need his help, he is not cheap. Make sure you hit him up though. And I'm just saying, don't go if you ain't got no coin. His work.
14 years in the game. Yesterday's price definitely is not today's price.
And you're also one that does Christmas trees.
Yes, I do holiday decor as well.
Okay.
That's a really big passion of mine because I do love Christmas too. My mom was very good at Christmas decorations, and I used to help with the Christmas lights. And we used to have back in the day, in the 90s, they don't do stuff like that no more. Like holiday decor competitions.
Okay.
And you would turn down streets and the blocks would be lit up completely.
Yeah.
Every house. And the Christmas spirit, I feel like, is not there today like it used to be back in the day. Yeah. And it used to be such an exciting time. But I still have that embedded in me. And my uncle used to literally do holiday decorations on his block. And he used to be in the newspaper for his whole entire block just being so lit up in Galveston. And so I still remember those things. And I plan to apply it to my house, hope that, again, it inspires somebody. Right. To bring that Christmas spirit back. So,
what's your favorite room to redo?
My favorite room to redo, my living room. Mm-hmm. My living room. So, because it's a lot of space and it's a lot of opportunity to continue to move furniture around. Mm-hmm. I feel like in bedrooms you can be limited. The bed's really gonna go on one wall, one or two walls, basically. And you can't float the bed in the middle of the room if your room is not that big.
Yeah, true.
You can change the bed linens, but who wants to keep buying bed linens all day long?
Speaking of beds, Raquel and myself, how many pillows go? How many pillows go on the bed? I hope she's watching.
Oh, Lord have mercy. We just had a
How many pillows go on the bed, Andre?
So, I'm sorry. You caught me
I'm
so
so
off guard with that
confused.
one. Okay. So I have 2 sleeping pillows, one on both sides of the bed. And then I have 2 decorative pillows. They're usually like 26 by 26, so they're pretty nice in size. And then I have a lumbar, like a bolster that goes across. So that's enough for me. And some people like,
How many pillows do you have, Trinity?
I have
I'm
about
curious.
on my bed now. I probably have about 32, 30
Huh?
somewhere.
oh, really? 32?
Yeah, so
32.
that you know, I'm very your mother when it comes to that. That's why.
32.
Yeah,
Yes.
but they're like they're dead.
They stacked up like
So
they stacked up
decorative.
like-
So like it comes out like the entire bed, like maybe 5 inches of the bed is not covered.
I have 9, and I feel like that's too many.
But they're so cute, and then you know my bedroom is all black, so they're all it's just beautiful. It's just well, I don't know. Andre might be like, this ain't right, so maybe I'm gonna have to call him.
But that's just me. Again, whatever floats your boat, whatever.
Yeah,
makes
I
you
love
happy, whatever
it.
makes you comfortable.
Okay.
Go for it.
Well, thank you for that. I'm glad that your business is doing so successfully. It seems like it's definitely a
Thank
passion of
you.
yours, and so we definitely can support you anyway. Before we play the game, I want to talk on this part of your life that most of us know you from, which is ballroom. You are a icon in the ballroom
Yes.
community. If I'm not mistaken, you are your category is face. Is it anything else? Did I
Face and
miss-
perfect tens.
Face and Perfect Tens, and you are the mother of the iconic House of Miyake Mugler, correct?
Yes. Mhm.
So talk to us briefly about how that even came about, that you even be entering into the ballroom arena.
So, back when I was in college, probably about my junior year, going into my senior year, going into my senior year, there was a ball in Dallas for Pride Weekend for the was that cotton ball?
Oh,
I can't
State
remember.
Fair. State Fair.
The state fair, yeah. Where Prairie plays Grambling, but they had a ball that weekend, and my cousin Patrick was like, "Oh, this is ball." And I was like, "What is that? You know, we got to get dressed up and stuff." He was like tuxedos and stuff. He's like, "Oh no, it's not that kind of ball." He's like, "This is like categories where," he's like, "You just see." It's like there's a category called face, and I think you could walk it. And he was like, "You know, you got to put like makeup and stuff on." So we went to Walgreens and got all this cheap makeup and put it all on. I looked a hot mess. And then we got ready to leave out to go to the ball, and they said, "Oh, it's wash face, so you can't wear any makeup." So I had to hurry up and run back to the bathroom and wash everything off. It's just crazy, yeah. And we went, and it was my first introduction to seeing a ball, and they were voguing and falling on the ground, which they were the dips, and I know that now. But back then, they were hitting, landing on the ground so hard the nails were coming out of the stage. And I was like, "Oh my God, like, this is different." I said, "Well, when does our category come?" I remember being there for hours. It was so long. And then finally he said, when they called for face, and that's when we'll go up. So I went up. First I sat back and watched a few people walk before me. And I was like, okay, they're doing like just wiping their face and just smiling and stuff like that. So I said, okay, so I got to have like attitude. Cool, no problem. I love to act. And everybody that knows me know that. Like if I could be anything else aside from interior designer, I'd probably be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And so getting into an alter ego is nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And my family does the same thing. Like we act out skits, we rehearse movie lines, and we'll just out of the blue say something to each other. From movies that we've seen, and one of us will catch on, and it just happen.
Right.
But I went up and I did, what I saw. And the other guys doing, just added my own little, eyebrow raise and stuff like that. And they was like, "Oh, where you come from?" And it was just such a big thing, and I won that night, and it was like, "Oh, take it back from him because he's not a part of a house." So they let this other guy win. And I was like, okay, I didn't know what was what. And so, one of the guys came to me and he gave me like $50. It was like, "Thank you, baby. Don't worry about all that. You're just not in no house yet. You're new to this. So, don't think it's anything bad, but we definitely want to see you again." So I said, okay. Moved to Houston after college, and during college, my senior year, got more into ballroom. They started creating like our own little ballroom scene in Houston, which is like the Kiki scene, and the House of Bottega Veneta. When Dale
Okay.
was Dale, you was the father, weren't you?
Wasn't Angelique in the house?
Angelique was. She was the mother.
She was the mother. And
She's the founding mother.
she's the founding mother. and we used to all go over Angelique's house. She started curating this Kiki house.
Mhm.
Just because we were really learning about the ballroom scene. We weren't a part of the mainstream, but we were hoping, had hopes of becoming a part of it at some point. Don't you say nothing. And so
It's your interview, baby. Go.
yes, so got in, got that started, and I started walking little mini balls in Houston, and then they started having balls in Dallas and in New Orleans. So they started calling me the face of Texas, and so the people from mainstream had heard about me, so they started coming to Houston for the Kiki balls, like the House of Ebony and Escada and Stasha, and would come down. They would, okay, him, I see him, and so one day I was supposed to go to Atlanta for Pride MLK weekend, and I was supposed to debut as a Bottega Veneta. But I was the
You're supposed
only
to put us on the map, baby.
I was, but I was the only but here's the thing. I was 21 years old in a city I had never been to. And I hadn't been there. I hadn't been there. No, yes, I had. No, I hadn't. Not yet. No, yes, I had. I had went for Universe the first time before I went there for the ball. So yeah, I went. I went to Black Universe before I went to a ball. So I went and I was out there by myself. There was no other Bottegas out there, no nothing. And so I can imagine being, as Bucks would say, young and hot black gay guy out in Atlanta by himself at 21 years old. And all these houses are seeing me and they're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And Al Milan Dupree, my granddaddy, took me over to Tony Milan's house. No, I'm sorry. Tony's house. No, Tony didn't live in Atlanta. It was, gosh, I can't remember his name. He was the father of Milan for a long time.
Kadan?
Kadan, yes. Took me to Kadan's house. And I got there and he was just wanting to introduce you. I want to stop you and introduce you to some people. So I was like, okay, got there. And Tony said he did not see it for face and told me to get up out of there. I said, okay. And Kadan was like, oh, you are crazy. You don't see this child for face. So I left. I was like, Granddaddy, get me out of here. And so he took me to Zion's house, which is his nephew at the time. And Zion was in Mugler. Mm-hmm. And I knew exactly who Zion was because I was a YouTuber. He was one of the people I adored, like just through the screen, like how he sold it. Like I knew about the house in Mugler.
Right.
And so he was like, oh, why you take him to Milan? That ain't no Milan. That's a Mugler, baby. Look at that face. That's how he would talk to me. And so he took me to a ball. The MLK ball, and I got a chance to meet all the Muglers. They voted me in at the ball, and the rest is history. I've been a Mugler ever since.
So he went down there to walk as a Bottega and put us on the map.
Well, y'all left him to destitute. Y'all left him.
Well, but we were, but Houston was a pageant. Texas was straight up a pageant state. So we were like Kiki balling before they was Kiki balling. So we really, it was really a Kiki,
Yes.
So it wasn't no hard feelings.
During ballroom, you've had some of the most iconic moments. Which one is your favorite? I say mine is the Merman. But which one would you say is your favorite that you displayed throughout all of these years?
You know what?
What? I don't know. Let me, because you coming out on that piano was iconic.
That was fun. I've had plenty of moments in ballroom.
Yeah.
I would honestly say that I did really enjoy the Merman, but I also really enjoyed a lot of my moments were unplanned because when the Merman happened, I was not expecting to crawl on the floor. I had a chair that was supposed to be pulled down and carried out, but it got one of the ropes got stuck on the runway, and the chair. I was just like, they're gonna chop me. Let me hurry and get off this thing, and let me just crawl down because I couldn't walk because I had a mermaid tail, and that was what made it a really big moment.
Yes.
And so that was fun because it was definitely something unplanned. It was hot in there, and it was my first big moment, in my opinion. When I did the Thai Indian look, the Thai Cambodian dancer look at the latex ball with the big gold crown, the long nails, and the gold pants and the shirt, that solidified my legendary status.
Okay.
At that ball, and to bring the latex ball to their feet. This is a big room full of people, and everybody's just waving and screaming and taking pictures. I felt like a celebrity in that moment. So that probably was one of my favorite moments. That was that night. Because I really felt like people were really just paying attention. I mean, all the way from the back, all the way to the floor. And even afterwards, it was just so many pictures. And those pictures are actually in the Brooklyn Museum. I think it's like LGBT portion in the Brooklyn, in the museum in Brooklyn. Strictly just talking about ballroom. A lot of those pictures from that night are in that museum. Yeah, that was my favorite moment. Aside from the 11K that just happened, I feel like the 11K allowed me to be a little bit more of a perfectionist and tap into my acting a lot more, because that category called for me to be kind of Lucifer in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, every category, and I was skeptical about it at first. And, you know, having this conversation with my prior tia, she's like, I don't know. That's talking about being the devil and stuff. I don't know about all of that.
Girl, it's acting, honey.
So yes, and so I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And I got myself together. Shout out to Antoine Fleeton, who made the effect possible.
Yeah.
And got out there and really channeled what I thought Lucifer would represent. He's known as God's most beautiful angel that fell from earth, that fell from heaven and into hell. And if he were to still exist today, what would he act like? How would he move? How would his attitude be? So I really got a chance to get deep into that, and it was so crazy because it took me a while to come out of it afterwards, and I was just like, oh gosh, like this is like, that was deep. You know, I've never gotten so deep into a character where it scared me. And so, I was like, okay, we're going to tap up out of there.
The icon. All right. So we're going to play the game. We'll give you 10 words, people, place, thing, something you may have done, something you may have heard. You just give us authentically the first thing that comes to your mind. And of course, you can definitely give us a reasoning for why you chose that word for that particular thing I may have said, or person. Number one, let's see. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear or see Raquel Cuffey? Not Lord Balenciaga, Cuffey.
Ooh, red beans and rice. Yes. She is such a good cook.
Okay. Okay. So that's the first, because she's going to make your back big.
That's the first thing I think of. Because when I first started coming around years ago, she would make red beans and rice a lot. And she would bring something. When I first moved to Atlanta, she would bring it to my house to make sure I had something to eat. And so that's the first thing I could think about, because I feel like there's a lot of love in that, and there's a lot of care in when she makes that.
Okay.
So,
when you hear or see Whitney Garcon, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Ooh, the icon. The icon, a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would he be the one you most patterned yourself after?
It was quite a few people that I took inspiration from. Stasha, Whitney, Nigel. You know, the old school movie. It was a plethora of them. Zion, everything. The newer generation. Those are the people that I looked at and brought together to help create this ballroom persona that people see now. So he was one of those. He was one of them. Okay.
Number 3, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see in a home hardwood floors?
Equity.
Okay.
Yes.
I hate them.
You hate them? Really? I have all hardwoods now. But it makes a house very, very easy to sell. When people see that, people do love hardwood floors. And so when people walk in, a lot of times that's a major requirement more than any, especially, I wouldn't say not just in the South, anywhere. It's a major requirement, unless you live in Miami or something.
Right. Okay. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Tanisha Iman?
That's my grand. One of the best things that ever happened to me during my reign.
Okay.
Definitely. She taught me a lot. And I'll forever be grateful and thankful for her.
Shouts out to the ruler. Number 5, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of your brother, who's been in the comments all day, Jason Glenn?
That's my A1. That is Mr. Make It Happen. That is he's like my ride or die. Like,
okay.
If I move, he move. If he move, I move. We're gonna make whatever happens. He's been one of the biggest parts of my pageantry career and ballroom. You know what I'm saying? When I was preparing for Mr. Black Universe, he was sleepless nights of stoning and putting on gospel and and doing drag shows and kicking and doing our own personal drag shows, you know, trying to keep the midnight oil burning to make sure we didn't get tired to keep things going. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So yeah, I love Jason.
When are y'all gonna usher him over into the competition?
It's just listen, whenever you're ready, whenever you're in town, you ain't never in Atlanta long enough to come visit nowhere.
No, I'm saying when is he gonna start competing?
Oh, him? You know what? I've been asking him about that. I wanted him to compete, but he's like, nah, that's not really my thing. You know, I enjoy watching y'all. I even want to see him just at least perform because he definitely can perform.
Okay. Yeah, he
Okay.
needs to do that. Number 6. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Randall K. Smith?
Oh gosh. There's so many things I can think of for Randall. You know, honestly, misunderstood.
Mm.
Misunderstood. One thing about it is I love me some Randall K. It's what I call him, Randall K. I love me some Randall. Randall was there when my dad died. Randall helped show me the way and how to reign. Through my Renaissance reign, he prepared me for the universe and prepared me for Continental and prepared me for all the things that I wanted out of this industry. And I think he doesn't get all the recognition he deserves. But he also, what I can say is that Randall is a ball of resources that not every promoter has the opportunity to obtain.
Very true.
He has studio and photographers and things beyond just $150 to go do a walk. Those things don't matter to him. He really made you pay attention to the things that matter, like community service. You know what I'm saying? The real true meaning of pageantry and being a national representative is to give back and to serve the community. And he preaches that all the time. And so I would definitely say misunderstood.
Okay. Yusuf Mugler, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Oh, that's my brother. We were two peas in a pod. And we run the house together. That he scratches my back, I scratch his. He gives me hell, I give him hell back. I left him to death, and he could get anything he wanted out of me because I know he would do the same for me. But this is someone that has helped cultivate me and inspire me as an entrepreneur and a visionary, and someone that I walk beside proudly. So,
Okay. What's the first memory that you have of your mother, China?
Oh gosh.
Oh.
The memory I have of China is when I first met her. I was in New Orleans for a pageant, and I didn't have a gay mother. At this time, I was afraid of trans women and afraid of drag queens. I was still very young. Of course, I was 20 or 21 when I met her, and Rob introduced me to China, and she had this black and white polka dot shirt on, like sportswear on, and she had this curly wig, this curly synthetic wig, and she's makeup on, but she was so pretty. And he was like, I want to introduce you to somebody. And so this is China. She was like, how you doing? I was like, and he was like, this is gonna be your mama. I was like, my mama. I was like, oh my God, like, what are you talking about? I didn't know nothing about all of that. I didn't know nothing about mamas and daddies and none of that.
His name is his mama.
Yeah, just told her she was gonna be my mama. I was like, okay. It's like, oh, you're gonna be my friend. You're cute. Oh my God, you're so cute. That's how she talked. And so I gave her my number, and then she texted me, and I was a little hesitant to text her at first, and then she kept like, child, my mama baby, acting funny today. That's how she would give me to respond to her. So I started responding, and then pretty soon we started building our relationship. We started getting very close and talking about a lot of different things. And even though she was literally 1 year older than me, it didn't seem that way because she had so much knowledge and so much.
Right.
But it was like street knowledge and common sense. And it's something that when you're young and you're young and dumb, and this person had been through way more than you've gone through, and y'all literally almost the same age, so that doesn't mean you can't learn anything from them. And I remember before she passed away that she would call me, and we were talking about her surgery that she was getting ready to have, her the whole shebang. Yeah, she was finna flip it out, baby. And she was so excited. and she made me promise that I was going to be there, and I was supposed to be meeting her in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. And it's a part of me that has a difficult time talking about that because I was supposed to be with her that weekend. And I had some other things that kind of kept me from being able to make it until I wasn't going to be able to come. And then finding out, you know, the news that I got that she had been murdered in a parking lot, you know, it flipped my world upside down, and it made me think like, Lord, like I should have been. At first, I felt guilty for a long time because I felt like I should have been there. You know what I'm saying? And it had really just shaped my thought process on the transgender community, because now I feel the need to protect, because I've lost someone of trans experience that was so close to me that should, in my opinion, felt like should still be here today. And that was, you know, murdered out of hatred and a lack of understanding and a lack of education. And so, yeah, like that's what I think about when I think of China.
Rest in peace, China.
Yes.
She's very missed. Another lady in your life. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Chastity Starr?
The queen of all queens. That is my first queen ever in pageantry. The dynamic duo. I think that's what I can say. Yeah.
Oh,
Dynamic duo. Me and Chastity that was something that I felt like God put together. It'll never be another. It's just us, and we look at it as that. Like I love that girl to the end of time. I've never felt like I would meet somebody in this industry that I would just click with, and like it became like a real, like genuine, like husband, wife, best friend type friendship during our reign together. We just got each other right off the back. You know what I'm saying? She was a little rough around the edges. I was kind of refined, and so I helped in that way. And then I was, you know, I had my little shortcomings. Like I used to have punctuality issues, and she used to get on. They used to grind her gears. She did not like being late to anything. Yes. Oh, she helped me in a lot of different ways. Look, listen, we balance each other out very well. So everything absolutely everything. I'm not anymore. Not I don't do that anymore. But everything that I felt I lacked in the range, she helped me with, and she was hard on me with, and the other things that I felt she lacked, you know, or needed help on, like, you know, she was a potty mouth, that mouth, baby, that mouth, firecracker. And so I would be like, Queen, like, we got, hey, and you know, you got to look at it like this. You can't let people get in your skin. You got to stay in control emotionally and mentally. You got, you know, make sure, you know, get across the board, you know. And so she learned a lot from me too. So yeah, that's my girl.
So basically, y'all had the same thing that me and your daddy had, because he was always late. He was always trying to watch me in my mouth, and I would be like, "Sure, I don't know." Okay.
Sometimes I would have to clasp my hand over her mouth.
That mouth.
We would be in a pageant together.
It's an Alabama thing.
Out loud. I have to be like,
okay. And so number 10, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you remember your name being called out as Mr. Black Universe?
I did it. Like we did it. Like I had a plan. I went the first year, and of course, you know, I wanted to win the first year, but it really wasn't about that for me. I sat and watched that pageant for 17 years. The first time I went, when Dale sent me, and I went, and I never knew that from that very point that my life would change forever. You know, in terms of how I looked at ballroom, which it is inspired Exotic Mugler, and who he was and his character in ballroom is inspired by Black Universe, and seeing the level of excellence and perfection and quality that was put on that stage. I'm coming to time. This was in 2006. When Nikki Bonet and all of those girls were on stage, and Neo and Alphonse, and they were like giving it. It was 30 plus people on both ends, and it was so much quality on stage, and you could just feel that they just wanted to be the best at whatever it was. And I took that all in, and after that, I never missed a year. I was obsessed with it. I came back every single year up until the year that Makai and Akira won, and I missed that year only because I really can't remember how I missed that year. I just know that I wasn't in town for it. Yeah, I probably was at a ball or something that year. And that's the only year I didn't come out of all the years that I've been up in every year. Okay. And so Yeah, it was a wow moment, a full circle moment, because back then I told myself I would be on that stage one day, and I stayed away from it for the longest because, of course, my priorities with ballroom and
Right.
becoming a leader there, but also I heard about how much it costs to really compete, and I knew being young and not having access to money like that,
Mhm.
like no, I didn't know how they did it, and so I was like, well, I don't think I could do that. I'm gonna have to, make sure I'm able to reign, and so after ballroom had deemed me icon, I was like, okay, now I feel like I need to go back into my roots,
Right.
which I felt like gave me all of this in ballroom.
Okay.
I need to go back and I have some unfinished business. And I said, I have to go and Mr. Black Universe. I'm in a space where I can compete financially. I went to the pageant. I got bit by the bug all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And Maya looked at me and she said, you think you're ready? And I said, absolutely, let's do it. She was my biggest sponsor my first year to help me get ready. It was a learning
Oh,
process.
she sponsors?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Mother Lord is gonna make sure that you carrying that name, baby. You're gonna be right, or close to it. But at that time, I had a lot of pride, and so she was telling me, ask for help, ask people to talk to people. And my first year, I had so much pride. And to all y'all out there listening, y'all, if you're not trying to be, the only way you can be your best self on the stage, if you put that pride to the side, you are going to, it takes help. It takes help to get to that level of excellence on a pageantry stage. It really does. And I found that out the hard way. The first year, I got first runner up, but like Baxter said, you could have 5 more nickels on that presentation, or 5 more nickels on that sportswear. Something was just missing. You missed the mark, and there was, what I'm saying, and that was the truth. At the end of that pageant, I was tapped out. I was like, baby, I can't do this again next year, but I have to go back. After I remember, I went to the diner and I saw Naisha, and she said, "Are you coming? I just got one question. Are you coming back next year, right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm coming back next year," and I knew then I have to. That whole situation of my pride and my ego, feeling like I had to do everything by myself. I don't need nobody for nothing. And it was just me and it stressed her out. And I was like, I can't do that. I got to go back in. I got to make sure I have my stuff together. Then after people saw me compete, people reached out and was like, hey, if you need anything, I'm here, and I started calling around. I had my list of people. I was like, kind of put your list together, get the phone numbers, emails, call and text, and see who's on board with you. And that's what I did. And we even did a little fundraisers of the fans and all of that. So we had the whole 9 yards. So when I went back to Black Universe, I went back with a plan. I paid very close attention to all of my critiques. I wasn't sour about my loss because at the end of the day, I learned so much. You know what I'm saying? Again, I go back to my pageant PTSD from Mr. Purview. And then sitting out in the audience at Black Universe, when Q&A is happening for 17 years, the stuff you hear in that audience, baby, people are very hard on the contestants. And so hearing all of that, I feared that category the most. And bust question wide open. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, oh, wow, I did it. And I remember after running back off the stage, I just burst into tears because it was just, it was like I felt like I had won, even though I hadn't won. I won because I conquered my biggest fear at this pageant. Right. Well, something that has been conquering me for so long that I didn't realize had such an effect on me up until, now.
Right.
And Al Cap grabbed me and he just cried and cried and cried. I mean, he was back there just a witness. And but the next year when I came back, I had a plan. We had everything in order. Everything came together seamlessly. And like I said, when you're prepared and something is for you and you prepare the way you're supposed to prepare, it will happen for you. It will happen for you.
It will definitely happen for you. And in a couple of days, you'll be celebrating your 1-year anniversary. What does that mean to you to see that you're coming back as a ruler?
Yes.
And, what does that mean to be celebrating 1 year?
It means a lot to me. Sometimes I still look at it and I'm like, I can't believe I'm a former Mr. Black Universe. Like I was just be sitting out in the audience dreaming of this, and it is reality. I've made it to the other side, and I look forward to utilizing even still the platform I have as a former to help. I've called contestants and reached out to contestants and asked them about their preparation, and giving my critiques from me seeing them compete in the past, anyway to help, not just help them be a better competitor, but in doing that, you're reestablishing the integrity of the system. because Black University is known for quality
Mm.
and excellence on stage. And to be a ruler, you don't want to see any contestant get up there and fail. And when I say fail, meaning to get up there unprepared, get up there without the proper knowledge and the tools that they need to be able to compete on that stage. And so by any means, if I have something that I need, that I've seen, or that I need to say, I've called, I've said it, I've offered resources, et cetera, to help, make things happen. And so, that's my experience so
Shout
far.
out to you for continuing on to be the ruler. During your year, of course, we all know controversy happened or what happened. We don't have to go into detail of that. But tell me, during that year, what is the biggest lesson you learned about yourself?
Being Mr. Black Universe?
Yes.
The biggest lesson I learned about myself was, I've thought about that one. Yeah, give me a second. Biggest lesson I learned about myself. Oh gosh, you hit me with a curveball with that one. That I am a lot more able to conquer rooms of different demographics.
Okay.
It did allow me the platform and opportunity to go into some rooms, and people knew who I was and wanted to have conversations with me, and even express their adoration and let me know that I inspired them in some form or fashion. And people you don't never think would be paying attention to you over on the Black side. You know what I'm saying? That people are even on the other sides, the diverse sides and the white side and Hispanic side, they're watching too, and they know what Black Universe is all about. They know that it is one of the most prestigious pageants around, and if you're able to obtain that title, then you must really have something about you that has carried you that far. You know what I'm saying? So they looked up to me in that sense, and it made me like, okay, well, my title goes just beyond our community. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Black Universe should be able to walk into any room, any demographic, and be able to grab the room and use it to your ability. And so I did learn that about myself during my reign.
When you look back a year later, as you get ready to celebrate this weekend, do you feel like you were prepared and ready to be the king you wanted to be?
Yes and no. Yes, because my Renaissance reign, I already knew what it would take to reign. I wasn't prepared for the prelims at first because we didn't have prelims when I got on the stage. Prelims came, we found out about the prelims maybe 2 weeks after we, got in. It was like, oh, we got prelims, 10 of them. So we need whites and blacks. Okay, crystal stones. Okay, well, let me just go on and start real quick. I'm gonna be clean. And my black turtleneck and my black tuxedo. And they said, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Miss Tasha called my phone and said, absolutely not. Baby, she said, and the thing is, that's the process. You learn, you don't really officially become a ruler until you cross over. They tell you until you give up, because your process is helping you become a ruler. So by the end of your reign, you should have a ton of fabulous drag, because they push you to have things that are going to sustain you for any arena you want to walk into after that. So my drag now, my closet now is triple, quadruple what it was, but when I started just in 1 year. But again, I was able to go into become Mr. Godfrey's, or be prepared to reign as a Mr. Continental, because I already had the closet to back everything up. I'm not scrambling trying to figure stuff out. So it does prepare you. It is one of those patterns that really pushes you to be the best and to obtain the best and have the best. And so they say good drag ain't cheap and cheap drag ain't good. They mean that. It's art to that.
There's a topic that was brought up about you, that he was given so much so soon. He didn't do his time. He didn't have to come here. He was given this, he was given that. What is your take on that?
I've never heard that, but this is my first time hearing. This is my first time hearing that.
Oh, okay.
But I would say nobody's giving me anything. I sat out and I studied like everybody else. It just didn't take me as many times. It took me twice. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I came in and that I just won right off the bat. That didn't happen. People kind of thought that was going to happen, because they're gonna give it to him because that's exotic Mugler, and that's and what I got first run half. Okay, what do you do?
Right.
But I can't again. The amount of planning and preparation that I went into me coming back. I wanted to make sure that if I came back, it was going to be undeniable, so nobody would be
Right.
able to say those things.
Right.
But no, I don't. That's my first time hearing that. But I'm like,
Is it?
I definitely, people definitely said it, but my argument with when I would hear it was that he wasn't the first one, to go and not take forever, right? Like
But
he
yeah.
wasn't the first one, so I think that it was just kind of coupled with ballroom. Like he
mhm,
just came from ballroom and just da 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 da.
mhm,
Because I was always like, well, Ray Sean won everything his first time.
first
Like every
time.
time he did, he won his first time. So
Mhm.
clearly it had been done already. But I think it was more connected to you transitioning from ballroom. But I always told everyone he started with pageants.
Hold on a
Like,
second. I gotta connect my charger.
Okay. So while we wait on him, don't forget on November the 3rd, which is Monday, the night after we crown the new rulers, Lips Green Party with Flame Monroe.
what time?
It's at 5.
5.
Don't you have a ticket?
No, I was saying for you to say it on here.
Oh, I thought you was asking me what time.
Yeah, I have
From
3.
5 to 9. So you won't have to miss the show at the Heritage. So you can go right after. She was very respectful of that. It's at Lips, so you can get your tickets online or you can buy at the door. And yeah, so Friday night they will be celebrating Ava Chanel with the Grand, and then Saturday we'll start Mr. and Miss with who the people?
Alphonse,
No,
Jeremiah,
no, the
Andre.
King and Queen, Jada Star and
Oh, and
Saint Laurent.
Jacoby.
Jesus, I don't went blank. Saint Laurent. So make sure you all are supporting them. I think D West is recording. I'm not sure. Are you going to be there this weekend?
Who
Get
me?
out your phone.
Yeah,
Are you gonna be there this weekend?
I'm at work, baby. I mean,
Okay, well, we can dismiss.
that's how I pay bills. But yes,
Okay, well,
I will be in Atlanta this weekend. I'm coming to Atlanta.
I didn't know you were coming. Remember you said you had to go to Virginia.
That's on Monday.
Okay, so you're back. Tell us
Yeah, I'm back.
how do you feel this transition that a lot of people are starting to do from ballroom to pageantry, pageantry to ballroom? How do you like that? Being that you are successful in both.
I like it a lot. I mean, I've had examples like Stasha and Raquel that came before me that did it and did it successfully. It's about prioritizing, but I like going the back and forth. I feel like ballroom has taught me things that I feel like I'm able to use to my advantage in pageantry, and so vice versa. Pageantry has taught me things I'm able to use in ballroom. I feel like so I just ran up some steps, so I'm out of breath.
Okay.
but but no, ballroom has taught me impact.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's something I bring to the floor when I compete, is knowing how to bring impact to the floor. Pageantry has taught me execution,
Mm.
and that is something I bring back to ballroom.
Mhm.
That has helped me be successful in ballroom. And so when you put the two together, it's a package situation. You know what I'm saying? And you want to have both. And I think that's what has helped me gain success in pageantry, I guess so soon, and be looked at as a competitor, as a fierce competitor in the industry, because I think people know that you're getting both. And I'm proud of that. I'm not going to knock that. I'm not going to sweep that under the rug, because you work hard to obtain those things.
Mhm.
And I think everybody should be confident in what they possess and what they bring to the table, because that is a big part of being able to sustain in this industry, is knowing what you have to bring to the table. So
You said you want to have both, and clearly you happen to have both. But if you had to choose one or the other, which would you choose?
between impact and execution,
Between ballroom.
ballroom and pageantry. That's hard. Oh, you know what? It's hard. I can't choose between the two. They both work hand in hand. I would say
They both work hand in hand.
I do.
But if you had to do one the remainder of your life, which one would it be? From this day forward, which one would you pick?
Now, I probably would say ballroom.
Okay.
And I say ballroom because I have a lot of kids under me.
Mhm.
And I say kids like my house members that are that depend on me. You know, I'm a mentor to them, and I just know that serves a bigger purpose. It serves a big purpose in their life. And with pageantry, yes, I'm just getting here. I'm not
Sure,
just
I'm on the
getting here,
interview.
but I'm still fresh in this industry. So
Okay.
I haven't had an opportunity to really just fall as in love in the industry as I probably have with ballroom because I've been there for so long.
Mhm.
And I think I have my reach is bigger right now in ballroom in terms of, you know, uplift and motivated and inspire. If I can do that in pageantry too, but right now my reach is in ballroom.
Give me two boys in ballroom that you would like to come over to pageantry, and maybe two boys in pageantry that you would like to see in ballroom.
Well, one is already creeping over into pageantry. That's Emery Garcon.
Uh-huh.
Um, uh, my son Keem, I would love to see him come into pageantry. Keem Mugler.
Uh-huh.
Who else? He walks face, but I would love to see him in pageantry. And Kadan, he's a 007. He used to be a Mugler. I would love to see him in pageantry also.
Okay.
Yes, I think that he would be great. He's a lover of fashion. He has a mouth, so he got a mouthpiece. He can chat all day long. And two people that I would like to see in pageantry compete in ballroom. Gabriel, Lloyd Dupree. I think he competes in the Kiki scene though.
Mhm.
But in mainstream, I would love to see him get into mainstream.
Mhm.
And gosh, hold on, let me see. Stephen St. James. I would like to see him compete in pageantry. I think he would give Sex Siren a run for his money.
Okay. Yeah.
For sure.
You were very open as well as visual about your relationship, and it's such a cute relationship and so inspirational to so many people. How is that for you, being public and being a public figure in the community on both ballroom and pageantry, and then still maintaining that sense of relationship where sometimes you may not even have your privacy?
Well, it's everything. I mean, anytime you commit to things, it can be a challenge at first, you know, and it takes two people to be on the same page. And I think that that's something we ironed out after my Renaissance reign. Once I got into pageantry, it was like, okay, you know, what are we doing here? You know, time started, you know, I started devoting a lot of time to staying up late and stoning garments and, you know, preparing for this, preparing for that. And then it took a lot of time from our relationship. And these are things that I was warned about. And so communication is at the forefront. Once you are able to talk about things and, you know, your partner's telling you, hey, you know, I feel like I'm not a priority. So you have to listen to those things. And when that was said, I literally, okay, you know what? This gonna have to wait. I gotta tend to my partner. Mm-hmm. I put the jackets down, the stones down, everything just sat down because I still had things. I'm just gonna have to rewear that or rewear something I had, but it's gonna have to wait for now. And that had to find how to create balance between pageantry and my relationship and ballroom. Same thing with ballroom. Like there are certain calls I couldn't be on because I was on a date with my man. It's just the reality of it. There are certain things I couldn't, but certain weekends I couldn't go to a bar because I had plans to be out of town, out of the country with my partner celebrating a birthday or just going on a trip. So, you know, you make time and you make it work. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's definitely good. Shouts out to him.
Yeah, so we had those challenges at first, and it was like, okay, they said this has happened, so let me figure out how to balance this. And so yeah, it worked out.
Okay, you are currently Mr. Godfrey's. Talk to us briefly about how that even came about. What was your motivation to even go all the way to Virginia and compete?
You know what? My motivation to be Mr. Godfrey's was through Jermaine. I saw his experience. And I know Alvion, and Alvion was always super amazing. I love Alvion. And while I was Mr. Black Universe, we got a chance to go to Godfrey's for our prelim because they're a prelim owner out there. and perform, and they showed us so much love. It was like, wow, like this is, I've never been to a brunch that was like this, where the people just really showered on the entertainers so much. And then even came up to us afterwards and just, they treated you like you were a celebrity. They hugged on you and loved on you. And the girls wanted to take pictures of the moms. It was an opportunity to really get up close and intimate with people and make them feel whatever it was that you wanted them to feel. I mean, make them feel great on their birthdays, great at their bridal showers. You really got in with that, and they showed so much appreciation for that. And so when I saw that Jermaine was Mr. Godfrey's and how amazing of a time he was having, I was like, I want to be a part of that. He reached out to me. He's like, oh, you want to come compete for Mr. Godfrey's? It was a no-brainer. I was like, absolutely. And Albion, when I came, she was like, I want you to compete for Mr. Godfrey's. Like, they would love you. And I said, okay. So even when you came to perform, like they left with so many positive things to say about you. And so I promised I would come, and I did. And anybody that would love to become the next Mr. Godfrey's, the pageant is coming up soon. Let me get my flyer out so I can read it out to you. Is that okay for me to do my little promo right now?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so Mr. and Miss Godfrey. Golly, we ain't just posted that long ago. It is March the... I don't know. We just got our flyer like last week.
Right.
Here we go. It is 2026 Mr. Godfrey's pageant, March 7th and 8th. That's a Saturday and Sunday, so it's a 2-night pageant. The categories are presentation, prince, and princess in pastels. The categories are formal wear, evening gown, and on-stage question and talent.
Okay. Pretty simple.
So it's a very easy pageant. Keep in mind, this is a bar pageant, and so they want to see entertainment. So be mindful of that. For anyone planning to compete, bring your best entertainment talent. Show them that you know how to entertain and be a showgirl or a show guy. And it'll go over well. But it was a fun pageant. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed competing. When I competed, it was like 10 people, 10 guys, or 9 guys, and they were heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them were former rulers and former Mr. Continentals, and to get on the stage to compete with them, it really outgrew the idea of just being a bar pageant. And my experience there has been absolutely amazing. I love traveling to Richmond every once a month, sometimes twice a month if I ask, once a month, and it helps me keep my finances in order for drag specifically. Because I don't like spending my everyday money on drags. That's why I perform.
The balance.
But it also provides a platform. You're around so many different people. You never know who you're gonna meet that walks in the door. We have actors, actresses, we have musicians, people that come from all over to come to Godfrey's, and we perform for them, and it's a wonderful time. Right. But the good part about it is you get paid, baby.
That's good. You're getting your investment back. You recently just finished competing, first runner-up, first time at Mr. Continental. Yes. You shoot for the stars. You don't waver. You go for the big jungles. What made you want to be Mr. Continental?
Well, when I decided to do pageantry, I said two titles I wanted to be, and that was Mr. Black Universe and Mr. Continental. I've never been afraid to go after the big things, because that's kind of, again, that was my introduction to pageantry. It was the big stuff. I didn't come in seeing, any of the other pageants. This is what I saw right off the bat. And so watching and studying never made me afraid of it. It made me gravitate toward it. And then I'm a big dreamer. I have big dreams and I go after them. There's nothing I feel like I can't do. And so, I have a lot of confidence. That's one thing I think my upbringing, my parents and my grandparents instilled in us was to be confident and know that you can achieve and do anything you want to do. And so that was a big part of it. I know they were looked at as the best in the industry. And so I wanted to be a part of the best, whatever that was. If that was Mr. Black Universe, and if that was Mr. Continental, those are two that I saw at the time were at the top. And that's what I wanted to be. And because that was a goal of mine, I did everything I could to make sure that it happened. and I enjoyed my time competing at Mr. Continental. It was everything I imagined it would be. Just for me, last year was actually my first time going to Continental for the first time and sitting out and watching the competition to study. And being on the stage there it's electrifying. It is really an experience. And the camaraderie behind closed doors, just with all the other contestants, it doesn't feel like you're competing. It feels like you're like these are my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like it really is fun. I know sometimes we can get tied up in the competitiveness and we want to be a little shady a little bit, but it really doesn't give that. And I had a wonderful time. I met a lot of great people, people who, believe in me. I hope you come back. I'm definitely coming back. I'm not sure if it's going to be this year, only because the political climate is so iffy right now. And, I work for myself. I'm an entrepreneur, and the economy is just looking really crazy right now. And so I'm trying. I had a conversation earlier, with my, about making some very wise decisions,
right?
Even against things that I really, really want to do right now. I may not be able to, but we're just gonna see. I'm not gonna say yes. I'm not gonna say no. But I'm gonna make whatever decision I make is gonna be what's best for me.
Right. Speaking of Continental, Isaiah, I was talking to Isaiah, and he said that you all made a decision to remain brothers throughout the competition. No strife, no, so many times when it's time for you have the bitterness and stuff. Tell us about how important that is to be competing against your brother or your sister. This can go for anyone, especially in our color, and just remain in an alliance. How important is that in your eyesight?
I think it's very important. It is because we're bigger than just a title. We're bigger than just a win when we are actually community and family first. I feel like that's something that should never be broken. It's just competition. The stakes are high, and the outcome can be in anyone's favor. It's a gamble. We all know it's a gamble. And if it doesn't fall in our favor, what is there to be mad about? Like, we became and gained something. Take whatever experience you have is to learn and to gain something from it. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen for you. It just may not be today. You know what I'm saying? So one of the more beautiful things that I love is because I knew how bad Isaiah wanted to be Mr. Continental, and he knew how bad I wanted to be Mr. Continental either. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. Right. And whether it be me or him, I'm gonna always be happy for him, because at the end of the day, he deserved it just as much as anybody else deserved it up there. So, but yeah, like we were, even still today, we had a conversation yesterday and just laughed and talked. And I told him, I said, I was behind the curtain. Every time you went out there, I was peeking through the curtain. I was cheering you on, but I was like, oh shit, I got to get up here and come behind you. That's a lot. Right. This is not my first time competing against Isaiah, and coming behind him in talent is not an easy thing to do. Right. He is amazingly talented. He can stand on stage alone and doesn't need dancers or back up anything, and can wipe the floor with talent. And you know what I'm saying? And we all know our strong suits. Yeah. And talent is definitely his strong suit. I'm like, and I even talked about, I'm gonna need to get with you to help me figure out what my next talent may be, because right now I just don't know. But just again, there's no bitterness. It shouldn't be any bitterness. At the end of the day, like, the community is more important than the title. The titles come and go, but friends and relationships and bonds are things that we need to learn to hold on to, because you never know when you're going to need somebody or when you're going to need this person, and people don't think about that until those bridges are burnt. They're looking like, I wish I would have. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's a wrap. So
you stated that you wanted to be Mr. Black Universe and Mr. Continental. Eventually, you will go back to Continental, and clearly, you will definitely be that. But you have ventured out. You did Mr. Godfrey's in one, and you did Mr. Renaissance in one. So clearly, there were other things you were interested in. Moving forward, do you see anything else that you may be interested in the future?
I haven't really given it thought. Only because I'm at a point in my life right now. I'm not 25. I'm about to be 40 in a couple of weeks, and I'm in a relationship, and I'm planning on starting a family. So I'm looking into that right now. I know that's going to take quite a bit of finances, and I feel like once I bring a baby into this world, all my coin is going into somebody's
Oh,
trust,
you
son,
know
into
it's
somebody's, yeah. And so whatever it is I plan to do, I need to hurry up and do it.
Right. Okay.
And so if I ever become Mr. Continental, I'll be fine with ending
When
it
you
there. Right. When I'll be fine ending it there.
okay.
And
Specific.
but still being around to support, and even as a former, just supporting other people in that I plan to compete, and rallying behind those who want to compete, etc. Again, still doing community service projects and things of that nature. That still give back to the community.
Yeah.
So yeah, but if I were to think about something else, King definitely is one of my lists that I've enjoyed.
Mr. Florida is coming up soon. I can see you definitely being that.
You know what? I gave some thought to that. The thing is, the Mugler Ball is
Oh,
that
it's
weekend,
Okay.
and the aftermath is that Sunday. And I don't know if there's any possibility of me being able to get from New York to Fort Lauderdale to compete all at the same time, one behind the other. I think
Totally
that would just be-
understandable,
it
but
would
I
be a
definitely
lot.
can see that for you.
Yeah.
You are very, very. Everyone seems to have this perception of you outside of you being beautiful on the outside. They say that same thing about you on the inside, right? So we had Neandre on a couple of weeks ago, and he stated that we asked who do you see will be in the industry for a long time, have longevity and stuff. And he mentioned your name because you can tell us what happened. Apparently, you were being scolded or corrected while you were Mr. Black Universe. And instead of you combating whatever was told you, you said, that's good advice. I will work on that moving forward.
Mhm.
What did that do to you when you were getting corrected, but then decided not to combat where so many people would have given an excuse? Well, I did this because of that, but you just took it in and said, okay, I'm gonna work on that.
Well, again, my upbringing played a big part in that. We got real thick skin where I'm from.
Mhm.
And they didn't tell me anything that my mom wouldn't have told me, or that
Okay.
my grandmother wouldn't have told me. They don't sugarcoat anything where I'm from. They tell it to you. They're straight shooters, just like it is. And you may not like it, but you got to respect it. And I take a respect to anyone that's telling me something to help better myself. And everything don't have to be an argument. Everybody ain't got to be bitter or they jealous, etc. No, sometimes you have to be mindful of and be able to open your ears and see if someone's telling you, "Hey, you're doing this is something you did wrong. I need you to fix this or correct it." That's somebody you really need in your corner. Someone that's trying to correct you versus someone that's agreeing with everything you're doing and you making a fool out of yourself, and then the ones that are sitting back kicking and laughing at you. So I can respect someone coming to me and saying, "Hey, I got some criticism for you. Fix this, fix this, fix this. This is gonna hurt you in this way. If you don't do this, this is what's gonna happen." Especially someone who's been here way longer than I have, And so, yeah, I actually love constructive criticism. I don't mind it. Like, that's the first thing I went for after Mr. Continental. I picked up the phone and started calling people I knew that were on the judges panel, or reached out to them via Facebook. Hey, I just wanted to get some feedback, because you get those scores, you just get to see scores. You don't see feedback, and you want the honest opinion, the honesty from the judges. Hey, what could I have done better, or what did you see here? And some of the things I already knew, because I'm my biggest critic at times. And some things I already knew where I went wrong at Continental, and I knew that if I saw it, I know they saw it because they're trained to see it. And so, yeah, like I'm no stranger to constructive criticism. As long as it's constructive, I'm fine. But I also don't give much attention to negativity. And so, if someone is being negative, you're not really going to get a rise out of me. I think people who know me, really truly know me, know that. Like, you literally have to swing on me or to get me to want to go from exotic to Dre. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, no, I don't give attention to negativity at all.
Being in the industry and this side of the industry for a couple of years now, do you feel like constructive criticism and correction is needed more with our entertainers?
Yes, absolutely. It's just like any other major industry, like the music industry or the entertainment industry. This is still one of those industries, and you come across so many situations and so many people that could hurt and harm you if you don't listen. And it's important that you're able to walk into spaces and receive feedback from people. That's one, becoming a great leader. Not just being a great entertainment, but being able to lead, to be able to learn.
Mhm.
And if you cut that off and you're not able to learn, there's no way you can lead. And so that's my response on that. Yeah, be open to criticism, be open to feedback, because it'll help you and it'll take you in spaces when people see that you're able to listen, you're able to grow.
Mhm.
So that's my take on that.
Yeah, you don't like negativity. We rarely see you ever get upset or say things on social media out of the way. You do that in your privacy of your own home, like a lot of other people do. But a couple of days ago, you made a post that started out with "Choose your friends wisely," and that was a rebuttal to another post that was seemingly negative.
It
Talk to us about
was.
that when you see things on social media where your friends may be getting involved in certain things and other
Mhm.
people may be egging them on or letting
Uh-huh.
them do what they want to do. How do you feel about that?
So, no, I'm so glad you asked this question.
Yes.
I When I'm close to someone, or I feel like that I have a relationship with someone that I feel like I am able to have their best interests at heart, and someone who is poured into me just like I poured into them.
Mhm.
The one thing I'm going to always want is for them to be their best self at all times, especially knowing their goals and their dreams and where they want to go. And I understand in this community, sometimes people can wound you up if you're not able to have emotional control, if you're not able to have a certain level of self-control at times, and people can press your buttons and you would give in to that.
Mhm.
And this particular person gave in, and knowing how hard she has worked and how hard she has pushed and knowing where she wants to go, I hated seeing her have that meltdown on social media. You know what I'm saying? We got phones that you can pick up and say, "Oh my God, this person is just upsetting me," et cetera, et cetera, et third. I said, but this is a platform. This is our resume, somewhat. When we get on this blue screen, that tells a
Mhm.
lot about us and tells a lot about how we handle situations.
Mhm.
And sometimes the way you respond to situations will keep you out of certain arenas and certain rooms that you do want to go in.
Mhm.
And I know that from experience. You know what I'm saying? If I put everything I felt on social media all day, every day, and said I wanted to whoop this person and knock this person out the second and third, I probably wouldn't get not even a third of the calls that I get for work.
Right.
I think it would push people away from me. People would be very nervous to work with me. People would be like, "Oh, people look at that. It is
Right.
perception and it is reality, even if we don't want to believe it's reality."
Mhm.
But I also feel that because we do want the best for that person genuinely, that we shouldn't be called fake or fake positives, because there's
Mhm.
nothing fake about a person wanting something good.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think, and to be labeled as that, I think I took some type of offense to it, but I didn't address it directly.
Mhm.
But I feel like I said what I needed to say without being disrespectful or without being ugly or catty, anything like that. I just said how I felt, the message I really wanted for her,
Mhm.
forget anybody else. I really wanted her to see that,
Mhm.
sometimes you have to center yourself and you have to know that somebody wanting better for you is not bad.
Right.
That is a good thing. Because I would want anybody else, if Wendell saw me acting out and going off, he would snap on me just that fast. "What are you doing?
He does
What's
it.
going on? Because this is not you. I know where you're trying to go. I don't want this for you. Let's find a different route."
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Pick up the phone and call me. But I just felt that was a
Well, I'm
whoopsie.
sure
That
she
was a
heard you.
situation.
I'm sure she heard you. I'm sure other people that may have been addressed to heard you. And so, yeah, thank
Oh,
you for that.
goodness.
Sometimes you have to, we don't always see that side of you because you are someone that's in your own bubble a lot. So I think that was very much appreciated from
Oh, no
Aruba.
problem. No problem. Every now and then when I do have something to say,
I'm
I
oblivious.
try to
It's fine. It's
no,
fine. You typically are a lot of times. But what you say now?
It's okay. I can promise you what's
Oh
not.
man. No, he's so silly. But no, anytime when I don't say much, again, anytime I do have something to say, it's never really rooted in negativity. It's usually trying to give a message or offer someone some sorts of support or understanding to something.
From a
So
different perspective. Okay, gotcha.
absolutely.
As we get ready to wrap up, I'm gonna ask you some questions. Tell me what memory you have as a child that has shaped you to the adult male you are today.
Oh, the memory that shaped me as a child from the adult male that I am today. Oh, this is off the top of my head. It's not hard. We used to spend a lot of time at my grandfather's house, my grandmother's and my grandfather's house in Galveston. It's my dad's parents, and we used to spend the weekends with them, and we would wake up like at 6 o'clock in the morning because the doorbell would always ring, and I would peek our heads out of the door with me and my cousins. 'Cause the most random person, we would always see my grandfather get out of his bed in the robe with his cup of coffee and walk to the door and open the door, and it would be the lady that lived down the street that didn't have Pampers or diapers for her kid, or a guy that just needed like $5 to get him something to eat in the morning. They would always come super early in the morning. It was the weirdest thing, and he would always reach his hand in his pocket in his robe and give, or hey, take this and go get this shit. I said, thank you, Daddy Bobby. Thank you so much. I really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you so much. You always hear that adoration that the community had for him. And I remember going to a model call that I had and my grandparents were taking me. I was riding in the back seat with my grandmother, and we came to a stop in Houston under a bridge over off Westheimer, and I was like 12 at the time. And there was this homeless guy that walked up to the car, had the sign, you have any money? My grandmother let the window down. I got ready to reach in her purse to grab some money. And I said, I tried to stop. I said, Cookie, don't do that. Like he's probably going to take that and, get like some alcohol or drugs. Yeah. This is something I heard that, people do when they get money off the street. And she gave him the money anyway. She let the window up and she turned to me and she said, don't ever let me hear you say something like that again. And I said, why you say that? She said, you never know what a person's going through, and you can't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
And she said, if you find it in your heart to give with no expectation. Mm-hmm. And she said, there's nothing worse than well, she said an Indian giver, but someone that gives with expectation. Mm-hmm. She said she said, you might as well keep what you have. And she says, God blesses people who give from the heart. And she says, so I would say, no matter who it is, somebody comes, if someone's in need, if you can help them, by all means, if it's on your heart to help them, no matter what they choose to do with it, that's between them and God.
Right.
And so I learned a very valuable lesson in that, and that is to lead with my heart and not listen to he say, she say, that everything you hear is not always truth. You know what I'm saying? That you'll block your blessings a lot of times listening to, people that don't always understand, you know what I'm saying, or have no empathy. And so that taught me to also have empathy and, try to be understanding of people's situations. And if there's some way I could help in some form or fashion, then by all means to be, some sort of change if I can be. So, and I learned that from both of my grandparents. They were very giving people, very generous, and the community in turn really loved them. You know what I'm saying? When they left out of here, the world was at their funerals, and you had to see like I see, but I grew up seeing that. So it wasn't far-fetched that everyone on the island would be here. So, and my dad was the same way. My dad was the exact same way. And so,
what is one lesson that Raquel Lord this time has taught you, Scooby, Jason, all of you all, that you're going to pass down to your children, and you want them to pass on to their children in this industry?
Lead with your integrity. Always put your best. Always show up your best self. Always. Someone is always watching. Somebody's always taking notes. And you never know where your best self could take you. And she preaches that all the time. That's why she is hard on us when it comes to our appearance, when it comes to how we show up to engagements, to make sure that we have unlimited. She always tells me, well, you're going out of town, I know you're not going to plan anything, but always take a costume with you no matter where you go. Because you never know, somebody may come up and say, hey, I know that you perform, and this has happened to me. I'd be in Houston for no reason, and they'd be like, oh, can you perform this weekend? Oh, absolutely. Thank God I brought that costume with me. But it's a level of professionalism and integrity, and always take that with you. Always be prepared and expect the unexpected. She texts me that all the time. I always stay close to God. She's very spiritual. But definitely, she keeps us tight when it comes to the industry of pageantry and just the world in general. But really, pageantry, she had always come prepared. So when I go to compete, I got probably 2 of everything, and I learned that from her because she had, for one evening gown category, the lady had 4 or 5 gowns. It was crazy.
Wow.
She was prepared. And so even now, like me helping other contestants, I make sure that they know, hey, make sure you have a backup, a plan B, and maybe a plan C, because if something go wrong with this, if someone spills something on this, you gotta make sure you have it together. You can make a quick switch. And so, yeah, she's taught us a lot in that aspect.
Shouts out to Raquel. I'm still tripping on the sponsorship because I ain't got but we do this thing where we ask for Mount Rushmore. So I want you to do yours a little different. I want to ask you for 2 Mount Rushmores. Yours will be 4 from the ballroom scene and then 4 from the pageantry scene. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore for ballroom?
Ooh, for ballroom, David Mugler. He's the founder of the House of Mugler. It would be Shay Chanel.
Yes.
And it would be Stuart Ebony. And it would be so one more. Oh, Grams Mugler.
Okay. All right. Okay. And then 4 from pageantry. Who would you put on your ballroom? But you can't put your parents. So you can't put Al and you can't put Raquel.
Okay. 4 from pageantry. Alphonse Dupree.
Okay.
This is tough. Okay. I'm trying to get my names together. Alphonse for sure. He's he's one of my biggest inspirations in pageantry. Naisha Dupree.
Okay.
Jim Flint.
That's a good perspective.
Another person. Rick Finn.
Oh, okay. Rick Finn. Would you ever come to Duval? I mean, you put him up there.
I don't know. I put him up. I put Rick up there because from the beginning of my pageantry journey, I see Rick show up in just about every room there is, and he has that type of influence in this industry. And that sometimes people don't even notice or take notice to. But if you really just watch Rick, and if you put your eyes just in every room, more likely you will see him. He has some form of influence in every room he walks in.
Yes.
And if you look at the Duval system, it's a very strong and very family oriented and community saturated system. And to watch one person, his system is not listed as like Continental or Black Universe, but to have and acclaim so much respect from room to room, from so many different diverse arenas in pageantry is amazing to see. He's not just doing that for no reason. Like that's a calling on that man's life. And then every chance I've had to cross paths with him, he never fails to make me feel so good about myself. And I see exactly why he is who he is to our community. Same with Naisha. She's mother pageantry. She's matriarch, and she's what we call like the beginning and the end, especially in this community. Same thing, walk into any of those rooms and the respect is there. The track record, the legacy speaks for itself, and has a hand in a lot of the entertainers as a mentor, a teacher, a granny, a cousin, an auntie, something that is poured into us in some form or fashion. And that's something you just don't see every day, something you don't get all the time. And she's spread herself so so far across this industry in terms of mentorship and things of that nature, where everybody can have just has a moment to say something about her. Jim Flint, this legacy can't be denied. He's running one of the most successful and pageant communities right now, pageantry systems right now. He definitely is still an inspiration. He can walk out, again, the same thing with everyone else, can walk into these rooms and have the respect that people know him for. What he's brought to our community in terms of, pageantry and a space and arena for women of trans experience to be able to come up and show up on his platform, to be their best selves and bring quality and charisma and integrity in those arenas as well. It's been for years. Who was the other person I said? Alphonse he's my uncle, but he is one of the people I paid attention to when I first started competing. When I first came to a pageant. And he's one of the people I learned the most from. And when I say that, someone that chased after something they wanted so badly, and no matter how many times it took him to get it, and he has weathered so many different storms just to obtain something he really, really wanted. Yeah. And I remember sitting in the audience and hearing some of the, the most negative things, when we got ready for that Q&A, baby. And those hurtful things that I would hear people say. And he would still stand there, even in his nervousness, and still push and try to get over that hump of something that he knew that he struggled with, and to return year after year after year after year. And the people would say the same thing over and over and over again. And when he finally did get past it, it was monumental. It wasn't something that was small or minute, because people knew this man's journey. They knew his walk. They knew where his struggles lie. And for him to succeed in that moment and for me to be there to see it for myself, was everything. And he's one of he has one of the most profound memories I have of Black Universe.
Gotcha. Shouts out to those four, and definitely everything you said about Rick Finn is true. Hopefully you'll be at Mr. Duval 2026. So that would be perfect for you. Regrets, redos, anything that you wish you wouldn't have done in life, which you wish you would have done in life?
Probably just wish I would have probably taken my modeling career more seriously. That probably is it. Okay. I think that was at a time where I was insecure and afraid of rejection. And
wow.
Probably would have wished that the confidence that I did have seeped over into that area and to that arena a little bit. So I was confident, but then, there were still those times in my life where I didn't feel like I was my best self. I still am human, in spite of, what people see. Doesn't mean, what's on the outside is what we naturally feel on the inside. So.
Okay. This is a good question someone just put. Have you ever in your time in ballroom thought about creating your own house, or was it always Mugler for you?
No, always Mugler for me. That's why I said David and that Mount Rushmore ballroom, because I couldn't do what he has done. Okay. I don't think I could. Like, the house has been around for, 36 years. Like, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And to have weathered the storms that this house has had, all of the splits that it has gone through. And I remember being here when the house was like 34 people after, the Garcon split, you know what I'm saying? And with the help of him and his tutelage, he pushed to continue to rebuild this house over and over and over again. And he's poured into my life and so many other lives, but it's a lot to run a house and to start a house. And I definitely don't have that in
me. Before we get to the last two, describe your life in one word, but no definition and no explanation on why you chose that word.
Mysterious.
Okay. I can see that. So there have been some, I can definitely see that. There have been some contestants popping in and out. There will be some contestants that will watch this because this will stay up. What advice do you have them on your 1 year back as Mr. Black Universe?
Oh, my advice to them on my 1 year back: have fun, bring your best self to the stage, um, show up and be ready to put it on. You know, that's what the people want to see. Y'all know that. That's what the people want to see. Don't let it, if you have any shortcomings in the pageant, don't let it get you down. There's still the rest of the pageant to go on. We all make mistakes and have made mistakes on stage. That don't mean that it cost us to win, because some of us still won with mistakes. You know, I myself won with mistakes. So don't beat yourself up too bad where you beat yourself out of the competition. So,
Advice. Are you excited to be able to sit in the bleachers?
I am. I was sitting in the bleachers last year. They were telling me I need to get out of there. Get out.
Okay, gotcha.
But I still got to send a little bit in there. But I did move around. I went to the table and sat with my mom and my aunt. But I got a little taste of it last year. But I'm excited to be in the bleachers this time, full force.
Okay.
Ready to wag my finger and scream and holler and beat the floor.
Don't say their names, but do you have particular pick for this year?
Do I have what?
Do you have any particular picks for the winners this year? Don't say their names if you do.
I think we all have our eye on some people. There's a couple of people I do have my eye on.
Okay, gotcha. Well, 2 hours and 20 minutes. You have gave us great conversation about your life, your history, your future, everything. I'm so excited to know that you are interested in becoming a dad in the future. Thank you for being transparent and open about everything. I knew that it was going to be a great interview. Did not realize it was going to be this kind of interview. I was able to get to know you a little bit differently outside of just the beauty of what you are and people see. So thank you for giving us this time. Your dad will ask you the last question. Of course, this will stay up for 30 days on Facebook, forever on YouTube. Yeah, thank you again. We'll see you. Well, I'll see you Monday, but you all can see him this weekend as he prepares for his 1 year back. But go ahead, King, because I was about to say something.
So you know the routine. Thank you for accepting the invitation. I know that you had your own reservations, but I'm glad that you were able to do it, and I'm hoping that you saw that it was not anything other than finding out who you are. So thank you so much. We asked everyone this same question, so I'm sure you're already ready for. Oh, and just so y'all know, as confrontational as I am and debatable as I am, I think Andre is probably the only human being that I've never fallen out with.
Because we say falling out.
But it's because he just looked at me crazy as move on. But leave us with a nugget, or the viewers with a nugget, something that we can take with us, something that you've used to help you with your travels through life.
Don't live in fear. Don't live in fear at all. Fear is it's the biggest enabler that is on this earth today. And living in fear will keep you from your dreams, your opportunities, your goals. It will keep you from being your best self. It will keep you away from a lot of things that God has for you. Move past it, let it go, and take risk. Be fearless in everything that you do. You can't go wrong doing that. So, yeah.
Good job. Okay. Well, thank you so much again. And again, good luck this weekend. Well, not good luck. Well wishes this weekend going back as a ruler. And we can't wait to see what you have prepared. And also, we'll see you Monday for the Battle Zone.
I'll be looking forward to seeing you at the Battle Zone, too. I'm excited. I've been listening to them songs all day.
Okay. Woo. All right. Well, you get some rest and do what you have to do. And we will see you this weekend. Bye.
I'm tired. I'm about to go to sleep.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
That was a good interview with your son.
It was. I enjoyed it.
I enjoy him so much. I'm just shocked Raquel gave a sponsorship because
she gave him great sponsorship, actually.
Well, when can I get something, Rocky? because I swear giving you stuff. But anyway, so yeah, we have a good weekend coming up. Please go out and support all of the contestants that will be vying for the title of Mr., Miss, and Grand Black Universe on this weekend Friday, starting with Ava, Saturday and Sunday with Jada and Saint. Celebrating 1 year will be Exotic as well as Tanisha. And then 20 years Aja Neandre, 30 years
Oh,
Tasha.
wow.
What's Tasha's key name?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, him. And so please go out and support them. And then Monday we'll see you at the Green Party Lips. Buy your tickets online or you can buy them at the door. Yeah, anything you gotta say before we go?
Make sure you support local drag. Make sure that you are watching the laws and the legislation, and make sure that you are being intuitive. Watch your space, watch where you are, understand your surroundings, and understand that we are not living in the best of times, but it's not the worst of times. So we have to tell ourselves that it can still get better, but we have to get active. Have a great night.
We will see you all next week with someone very, very interesting. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. But yeah, so everything he said, Calvin said, Claire. Yes, Calvin
Calvin
said,
St.
Claire.
Clair.
So support him. And always remember, we don't hate over here, so please stop the lying. Have a good night.